There's a world going round, so many secrets told. There's a whisper in my ear and everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Oh, nobody believes you. Say those are lies that you say. You can't tell me the truth now, honey. Darling, I won't tell. In the closet behind your clothes, a skeleton, the weight of the world. And I can tell in your sleepless eyes, you carry it wherever you go. Oh, wherever you go. Oh, wherever you go. Oh, nobody believes you. Say those are lies that you say. You can't tell me the truth now, honey. Darling, I won't tell. Darling, I won't tell. Don't run away, my love. I will treat you well. Forgive me for the things I've done. It's by my hand he fell. Oh, nobody believes you. Say those are lies that you say. You can't tell me the truth now, honey. Darling, I won't tell. Darling, I won't tell. Darling, I won't tell.
All right. Welcome every Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to Nonsensical Nonsense. I'm Glick, hanging out with Jeff as always. Hopefully, you guys are having a good week so far. Jeff's waving at the camera. He's currently stuffing his fat face, so I should be able to get this out uninterrupted.
There you go.
But if you guys aren't already, take a second. Go give us a follow on social media. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch, all under Nonsensical Nonsense. Go give us a thumbing. And if you like what you hear, don't be shy. Go check out every other episode. We are at 40 episodes on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Play, I think it is, Anchor, and pretty much anywhere you get your podcast jollies. You can find us. Just hit us with the Google. Do a little Google search, and you'll find us. And you can always email us at
gmail.com. Look at that. I got that just in time. I literally
I was seeing
going nonstop since I woke up this morning because with my wife having the day off today, we just try to get everything done, grocery shopping, get the laundry done, get the house clean, get everything done for the week. And I literally got back to the house. One of the things we had to do was pay the internet. And we got back to the house at 6:00 and I hadn't cooked yet. And I was like, everybody get out of the way, I'm cooking. So I hadn't eaten. So if you hear me chew, that's why. My little fat butt needs to eat.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was honestly beginning to wonder. I hadn't heard from you. I had messaged you earlier in the afternoon. I'm like, well, 7:00. Guess we're not gonna do a podcast tonight. I was gonna get ready and hit Cameron up and be like, you want to get down on some Call of Duty or what?
Yeah. Well, actually, last night, like I said, I watched the movie Son of a Rental. And just as I turned it off, I'm kid you not, I was like, okay, I'm done with the movie. I'm gonna watch TikTok for 2 minutes and then I'm going to go sleep. No, actually, no. I watched YouTube. I watched one video on YouTube, and the internet went out saying you need to pay. And I
Damn.
was like, shit, I know I forgot something.
Yeah.
So,
Son of a bitch. Well, how
so
do you forget to pay your bills?
no, but the thing is like I get an email, but I get so many emails from crap over the years that I've signed up for. Like I get emails from Haps daily. I know you do as well. I get emails from like LinkedIn. I haven't been on LinkedIn in God knows how long.
Hmm?
That this is stuff I signed up for in like 2003.
What's going on, Doc?
So
Yeah.
so when an email comes in from the internet company or the cable company, I completely just kind of like, yeah, whatever. And they usually send it about a week before. And
Well,
I saw it and I mentioned it to my wife, and she's like, okay, you pay that X day. And I was like, all right. And then X day was yesterday.
hmm.
And
I honestly, I honestly, I have not opened any of my bills in the last 6 or 7 months. I don't know when my bills. I have a general idea when my bills are due. I don't know when they're due because I pay them the exact same time every month, and I know that most of my bills I pay early just because I'm in that. I'm very routine in a lot of things, especially when it comes to paying my bills. So I pay my bills. I pay the exact bills at the exact time every month. You know.
yeah, well, the thing
So
is, like, my bills come in a weird uh succession, so to speak.
I'm gonna
Like
say probably like
water
everything
bill,
else
the
down
water
there, they
bill's
probably
every
all
two
fucked up.
months. The water bill's every 2 months. The electric bill, well, I don't have an electric bill yet because they haven't put in a meter. New house.
Nice.
The the Netflix is like on the 1st, and then Disney Plus is on the 15th or some shit like that, and then the internet is on the 30th. So it's like
Yeah.
it's I wish I could have it all done in one day, but I just can't. So
Um. So, random ass question. You
yeah,
said you don't have a meter on your house right now,
yeah, it's
but you
wired
have
hard.
obviously. I mean, you
Yeah,
obviously have
they
power.
literally just have where a meter goes. A meter is basically just a circuit. It's just like a light switch kind of thing.
Yeah,
And
we all know what a meter is. I mean, if you
yeah,
don't know what
and
a
yeah,
electric meter is,
but what they do is where the two connections are for the meter. When they build
mhm.
the houses, when you obviously move in, you have to actually go to the electrical place and say, "Hey, I need a meter." And if you do, you have like
Really.
3 years, 3 or 4 years to do it. And if you haven't done it by then, they'll fine you. And what
So
they do to make sure you have power in those 3 years, it's literally just a cable between the two connections.
yeah.
It's thick enough
Well,
where
I
you can
mean,
handle it.
I didn't really need to go into all that detail to,
Yeah, well,
I just had a simple question that, if you take a breath and let me
go
finish
from
my
there.
thought, what I was gonna ask. You're overthinking things. Calm down over
Yeah.
there. What I was gonna ask was, if you take that full 3 years or 4 years or whatever they give you, are they gonna in return go back and backdate it and
No,
go, oh, by the way,
no. I can literally run everything in my house all day long while I don't have a meter and they don't give a fuck.
okay? Because I was gonna say,
It's awesome.
here in Ohio, of course, we have AEP, and AEPs are the dirtiest, rotten motherfuckers on the planet when it
Well, see,
comes to electric companies.
well, the crazy thing is, there is one electric company in Mexico. One for all
This,
of Mexico.
oh, for
It's
the
government owned. It's a government owned company.
for the entire country.
Yeah. Well, obviously
Oh,
there's
gotcha.
substations, but
Yeah.
it's all what's it called? EFG? I don't know. They have their logo everywhere.
Well, hello, pretty girl. Why are we so old?
We are very old.
Because we're talking about our lights. Well, you just joined in, so you didn't hear the prior conversation. Well, I mean, a lot of states have that. Like in Ohio, it's basically only AEP. There might be a
Right.
couple, and then South Carolina had one company, unless you were out in the middle of fucking bumfucked island nowhere, and then there was just like some random power company that took care of the whole island. yeah, Bob's Power.
It's just one wind turbine somewhere.
Yeah.
No, but like I said, what's the name of the electric company, honey? CFI. Sorry, E in Spanish, but it's CFI, and CFI is like it's a huge company.
We're just trying to help you get some sleep, baby. I know he was up all night.
Oh, it is an E. It is an E. But like they actually, I watched a documentary about them where they have a.
You really are like an 80-year-old
I am.
fucking man, aren't you?
I am. I watched the weirdest documentary.
I'm over here, like I watched a documentary on the Mexican electric company, and I'm like, I just started watching the new Walker reboot. It's really good. I'm into it. You're yelling at me because my sound bar is so loud, and I'm just like, oh wait, I didn't even know you was here. I was so wrapped up in that show, I had no idea you were here until you're like, Jesus Christ, that sound bar.
Yeah, well, like I said, you want to talk about cutting it down to the wire? I literally got everything done. Well, not done, but done enough where I could call it a night. 2 minutes before, I literally had the kids set up this setup of the tripod and the boom and everything while I was down cooking. I told
Nice.
Kevin, go upstairs, set up my boom, get my chairs out on the balcony, and set up my tripod. I'll bring the phone. So he had everything set up. All I had to do is connect everything.
Nice.
No,
I didn't have anything done because, like I said, I hadn't heard from your goofy ass all day, and I'm like, well,
I literally at one point I was going to grab my wife's phone, but her work phone was what I was because I can sign into my Facebook on her work phone, and her work phone was out of credit, and I was like, shit. So I was like, well, so much for that.
I thought you were one of those radio DJs that had called out COVID saying that it wasn't all that bad, and then you got it and died on me. There's been several of those guys lately that have been like, want to go on these crazy rants, and then they freaking get it and die.
My mother's uncle, literally, my mom sent me a message last night. Last night? Was it last night? Yeah, I think it was last night. That my mom's uncle, I think it was my mom's uncle. He died from COVID.
Damn. We don't need to get onto that. I did want to ask you because you got your little Roger Clearly down there. How's the pups? And that's the dad from 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah.
Welcome to useless knowledge and trivia that I have.
Actually, there are a total of 5. One was stillborn, so there was
what up, Biznatch?
One was stillborn. So,
oh no!
I had to bury it. Like right.
You guys
away.
don't eat them down there?
I thought about it. I told my wife, I said, this would make good eating. She's like, that's just me. I was like,
we could have pup tacos for dinner.
But so yeah, one was stillborn, and they all look like the mother. But
I was going to say
they have a couple black spots and mostly all white. Michelle.
Yeah, I was gonna say the few pictures the couple pictures you sent me yesterday, they look like they almost look like little baby Dalmatian, little pup Dalmatian pups.
Well, I think
the little black spots.
Is part Dalmatian. She is a mutt.
Yeah.
All my dogs are mutts because we found.
I was gonna say she looks like a mutt.
Yeah, she's all over the place. But
what's going on, Pat?
But I built her little box to sit in, and so her puppies can't run away from her. Not that they can run.
Summer wants to know if Juan is the dad of the pups too.
Actually, Summer, what Chris and I were talking about yesterday is that you're going to be surprised when they show up on your wedding day. They're going to be my representation. I'm going to send you 5.
Jeff said he's going to. Well, they won't be pups by then. Jeff said he's going to stick 5 dogs in a box, and I was like, "You're talking to 2 people that want to have a bunch of dogs. You think we're really going to be bothered by that?"
No, that's what I said. That way I can get rid of them. They'll be obviously weaned by then, because one of the things my wife said right away. She's like, "What are we going to do with 5 more fucking dogs?" I said, "Well, it's 6 weeks later from now. I'm going to get rid of them. I will find people to take them. Trust me, because 9 dogs is not cool.
No, 5 dogs are. Yeah, 4 dogs are not cool.
Well, I have
Yeah,
to clean the
Somerset.
backyard twice a week now. So 9 dogs, I'm gonna have to clean it daily. Jesus.
So Somerset, every time the kids mention a new puppy, they get a new baby, they get a new puppy.
Apparently. But
And then Cameron,
it took I think when we woke up, first thing I do when I wake up is feed the dogs. So we woke up and she already had birthed one, and of course the other three dogs are like, "What do you got there?"
Yeah,
like, well,
what the hell's going on?
Get the fuck away,
Yeah.
So, I brought her in the house and I built her that little box in the bathroom so that I can, because she's got to be with the puppies and I don't want her wandering around the house and just randomly pissing. So
yeah,
because she can only be so far from them for so long. So I walk her every couple of hours, make sure she goes to the bathroom, and it took about 6 hours for her to birth all 6, including the stillborn. The stillborn was second to last.
Damn.
Yeah, it was just and of course Michelle and Kevin every 2 minutes. Oh, she's having another one. Calm down. Go away.
Yeah, calm down.
But because the miracle of life, so to speak, and they were like,
yeah,
look at that, and I was like, oh my god, get away.
Yeah, go somewhere else. Somerset, well,
as much as I think they're cute as shit, I'm like, I gotta get rid of these dogs eventually. I told my wife, don't get fucking attached because we're not having 9 dogs. She's like, it'll be fun. This is for you.
Well, I mean, you probably don't. You probably don't have the room for 9 fucking dogs either.
Well, if they're the size of the mother, no.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard.
Somerset 4 dogs. Somerset 4 dogs aren't cool. 10 dogs are amazing.
Yeah. 10 dogs are shit myself.
Well, we also plan on having a little bit of land and stuff like that too. So
right.
Of course, then Cameron had to call me a dog. Summer loves dogs. That's why she's with Glick.
But yeah, I literally have, you put out a post on Facebook the other day, go dog pound. I'm like, motherfucker, the dog pound is here. And
oh my God. That was a good game for the most part until the end of the game, and Browns lost. But I wasn't too upset because I mean we took easily one of if not the best team in the league. We dominated and did whatever we wanted to them throughout the entire game until we started making mistakes. So
now can't win them all.
Well, everybody's freaking out. It's like it was the first game of the season. And it's like there's 16 more weeks to this season. It's not like college football where as soon as it's not like college football where you lose one and your season's over because you're basically after your one loss. It's hard to get into the playoffs unless you're Alabama, who could lose every single game and somehow still manage to be in the playoffs ranked number 1.
Nice.
So.
Sorry, I have to just
Well, it sounds like you're going to have your hands full for a while with those pups.
The first week, I pretty much just have to make sure the mother gets walked every once in a while.
To make sure she doesn't eat them?
Well, no. This is the second time we've had one of our dogs give birth. We started out with 2. And then one of them gave birth, and we got rid of all of them except for 2 that we just kind of fell in love with. To our dismay, they were male, and we had 2 females. So you do the math. And so one of the
please explain the birds and the bees and where babies come from.
My son comes in and one day he's like, "Hey, the dogs are stuck together," and I'm like, "Damn it!"
Yeah, explain to everybody where where babies come from. Summer almost had to have that conversation the other day on Parker's birthday. He asked her where babies come from. Because I guess they were looking at pictures and stuff for when she had him, and I think she told him that she threw him
Ask
up.
Chris.
He came out of her mouth.
In about 3 years, ask Chris.
Yeah, ask Chris. Well, let me show you a little movie, a little presentation.
That conversation, I'm not looking forward to having.
Mm.
I remember when I got sat down and had that talk. It was on my end, anyways. It was like, oh, really? To the point where my dad was like, really? I was like, yeah.
I don't think. I don't. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I ever had that. I don't think I was ever given the talk or had the talk. I guess you could say, growing up.
I remember one time
I haven't.
My mom suggested my dad, you want to give him the talk? And my dad was like, no. And I was like, look, I'm good.
Yeah.
To the point where my dad turned around and he's like, he probably knows more than me.
Plug A goes into plug B.
Exactly. My dad literally looked at my mom and goes, he knows how to do plumbing. He gets it. Because,
Yeah.
as you know, in every construction field, it's a male end and a female adapter,
Yeah.
So
don't put plug A into plug C unless you get permission first, because that can get you punched in the eye.
At 13, 14, I'm surrounded by all these grown men that are just like, if you can't get in, put some hair around it and you'll find it,
Yeah, is that what they told you, Jeff? All those grown men that surrounded you?
No, you know what I mean. You get that locker.
Kevin, you didn't ever. It's not a matter of not having the talk. You just don't know how to A, pull out, or B, you don't know where the condom aisle is in the grocery store.
Say, that would be you, sir. You have more than
Cameron has 3 kids. Cameron has 3 kids too. Cameron's also got three different baby mamas.
So do I. I literally forgot for a second. I was like, shit, I got the same amount as Chris.
Yeah. Cameron's got 3 different baby mamas though.
I have 2.
I'm kidding. He has 2. I only have 1.
Yeah.
Then I got a bonus kid that I didn't make. I got him and he came potty trained and everything.
When you guys walk down the street, somebody's going to say to you, Chris, it's not a revolving fucking door. Have you seen? There's a meme out there where it's a woman that she gave birth to like 15 kids, and it's a family photo. It's the mom, the dad, 15 kids, 22 grandkids, and all that shit. And it says it's called a vagina, not a revolving door.
Yeah. No. Every time I go to the store, if I'm like at Kroger's or Walmart or something, I walk past a van that has like the stick figure family, and there's like 7 or 8 kids. I always like want to come back out and tape a box of condoms to the back window. Just be like, Jesus Christ.
I used to say to my I have a friend of mine. He's got like 9 kids. And I was like, dude, you know what you need to invest in? He's like, condoms. I was like, no, a fucking TV.
Yeah, right.
Leave that woman alone. Watch a movie. Jesus Christ.
Well, in my house, when Summer's here, she's like, "Hey, put something on TV," and I know exactly what that means. Yeah. So having a TV don't matter. You want to watch a movie?
Look at the guy and go, no means no.
Summer's like, you want to watch a movie? Yeah. So you want to watch a movie? Is the sky fucking blue? Yeah, damn right I do. Can we watch like 3 movies?
You ever seen that show, Modern Family?
Mm-hmm.
Ed O'Neill says to Sofia Vergara. Vergara walks in. She's like, I'm going to take a shower. Would you like to join me? He says, honey, there's a gun in the Foot Locker. If I ever say no to that question, you have my permission to shoot me.
Yeah, right. Fair enough. True story right there.
Exactly. I swear, if you don't get away. My daughter's literally saying, be quiet because my wife's on the phone.
You need to instead of yelling at your kids while we're recording the podcast, which the recorded podcast goes out onto the out into the World Wide Web where anybody can listen. You just need to get a Nerf gun, and every time they act up, just shoot them off camera. I was listening to one of the episodes today at work.
I said that to my wife. I was like, let's get a Nerf gun. She's like, why? I said, so every time the kids bother me during a podcast, I can just shoot them. Instead of me making faces, I just go.
Yeah, pow. I was listening today, and I was at work, and they were doing something. And you're like, "Would you shut the fuck up?" And I'm like, "Oh God, I should have edited that out." Jeff sounds like a horrible piece of shit dad over here.
Right? But
that's okay.
It all comes down to you start out the day all nice and calm. You're like, it's gonna be a good day. About 3/4 way through the day, you're like, I'm gonna fucking kill them, bury the bodies. Especially when you're trying to do something with them, like when Kevin and I were building the kitchen. Oh my gosh, I'd be holding something up in one hand, holding the drill in the other, and go, hand me a screw, and he's not there. He's off riding his bike. And I'm like, what the hell? This thing's gonna break my neck.
Yeah.
So
it was like World War III here the other night. Well, not even World War III. It was like just imagine the cheesiest, sappiest drama that you could find on TV, and that was my daughters because they were fighting over shirts. And my oldest one came out here, and I was like, "What is your problem?" And she's like, "Buggy, she wants to wear my new shirt." And I was like, "Well, you just wore it. It's not going to hurt anything." "Well, it's mine, and I'm standing my ground, and I'm putting my foot down." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." And she's like, "It's not funny." And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "It's not funny." And I said, "Can you please slide over about a foot and a half? You're blocking the TV, and I'm trying to watch wrestling." And then she started going on, and she's like, she's so worried about what her friends will think that she has to dress a certain way, and you shouldn't have to change for your friends. And I was like, all right, calm down. Saturday morning PSA, it's not that big of a deal.
My wife literally just said to me, she's like, "What do you mean Kevin said the white dogs got stuck?" I was like, "It was like a couple months ago."
Yeah, right.
It's like, well, how come I've never heard this story? I was like, midday. I don't remember shit.
Yeah.
I've only got 400 things I do every day. Apparently, she's saying apparently that was important. I was like, yeah, you think?
Yeah, now it is.
This is important information I need to know. I'm like, yeah, well, now you know, and knowing is half the battle.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that actor also did this whole dramatic spiel out here, like she was like almost crying and everything. She walked away, and then she came back out, and she's like, a few minutes later, she's like, "I just don't think you understand." And I was like, "I just don't think you don't realize that I don't care. I mean, you guys are crazy, and I just want to sit here and watch wrestling because, I don't have many joys in my life."
we actually had the same conversation, literally almost the same conversation with Kevin and Michelle today, because we were separating old laundry, stuff that getting rid of the old stuff, and like, okay, can Michelle still wear this? Okay, yes. So can Kevin wear it? Okay, that kind of thing, kind of cleaning out closets, like spring cleaning, like I said. And Kevin's like, "That's my shirt." And I'm like, "Dude, it's like it stopped fitting you 3 years ago. Calm down.
Oh God,
Michelle can wear it now."
Yeah.
"But it's mine." I'm like, "What are you gonna tape it to the back of a jacket? Come on, get over it."
Yeah,
it's my shirt.
I have that fight with Cash constantly because he'll bring out a T-shirt and want to put it on, and the damn thing's like 4 sizes too small. And I'm like, "You are not wearing that." It still fits. Yeah, it still fits. Or his tight ass freaking. He had basketball shorts on the other day that looked like they were Larry Bird's from 1981, and I was like, "Dude, those are too small." And he was like, "No, they're just a little bit tight." Yeah, he was like, "They're just a little tight." I was like, "Go put a different pair of shorts on and throw them motherfuckers in the trash." He's like, "I'm not gonna throw them away. I might wear them." I said,
boxers, Jesus.
Yeah. I was like, "You are not wearing them ever again. Calm your little ass down." I was like, "Why do I go buy you new clothes when you insist on wearing?" And then he gets mad at me because I'll go through his clothes every once in a while and I just throw shit away. And he's like, "Well, why are you throwing that away?"
Which is what we did today.
Yeah, because it hasn't fit you since you were
Exactly.
It hasn't fit you since you were 4, dude. You're 8 now.
Exactly. Well, I mean, that's the problem we were running into. We just bought them all new clothes at the beginning of the summer, and they would wear their new clothes, and then just kind of toss them in a corner somewhere in the corner of their
Mhm.
room in a basket. And then when I'm like, hey, bring me clothes so I can wash clothes, those clothes would never show up. So it was like, where's all the new clothes we just bought? Oh, I don't know. It's like, oh my God. So we literally, tomorrow, all day tomorrow, I have to clean up the mess we made today, cleaning their room because holy crap.
It's like,
When
you
we
know,
first
when
moved in, I built a toy box that is literally, it's almost too small now
Mhm.
because, you know, when we first had kids, we would, and if everybody was selling something on Facebook, we're like, oh, there's a toy, go get it, like $10. Okay, cool. And
yeah,
I literally said today when we were looking at all the toys, I was like, you know what? Christmas, you guys are getting socks and underwear, man, because Jesus, you got enough
yeah,
toys to
right.
choke a donkey.
Oh God, damn. That's
Well,
Cash's room right
yeah,
now. I mean, you can't even walk in there. And I'm like, dude, you got to clean up your room. And he's like, well, why? And I was like,
because I have to
one,
look at it.
well, I don't have to look at it. I just shut the fucking door. That's my theory. I am not going to waste my energy and my breath arguing with you about cleaning your room. If you want to live, or if you want your room to look like an absolute pigsty and be disgusting, and you want to sleep in that, well, Cash don't sleep in his bedroom, but like the
Oh yeah,
girls, I'm like, just shut your fucking door because I don't want to look at it, and I'm
clean out
I'm
that
not gonna
one
sit here.
triangle that the door makes so it closes.
Yeah, yeah,
That's all that
I'm not
matters.
gonna sit here and argue with you and get stressed out over it because it would take you an hour at most to clean your bedroom if you go in there and clean it, and you turn it into a 4-day adventure. And on the fourth day, right before you go back to your mom's, you've done nothing
Yeah, exactly. Well,
except
I mean,
like take.
that was the original plan today. My wife and I were going through clothes, and we told the kids, "Look, clean out the toy box so I can build you a bigger and better one, so that everything fits in there, and I can actually, because it's in the closet." So
Yeah,
I said, I'm gonna put up a curtain rod, and we're gonna hang up your clothes, and I'm gonna move the toy box to the other corner, and all I'm asking is that you get it done. Well, my wife and I went to the store. We had her older brother here today. So my wife and I went to the store, went grocery shopping and everything, came back, and the room hadn't been touched.
yeah.
And it's not like they were watching TV because there was no internet. Because we didn't pay the internet
Mhm.
till like 5:30. So it was like,
Yeah, they found other things to do with their kids.
yeah,
Speaking of clothes, I have two things because
yeah,
I have found my way to weasel into your little noggin.
yes, you fucking cocksucker.
Speaking of wearing clothes that are too small, is that your son's shirt that you got on? A little
No,
extra medium over
this is
there.
actually this. I've had this shirt for like 3 years.
Since I was 10.
Yeah. But literally, the shirt
You
I was
should.
wearing today, we ran around so much. And when we got back, I literally ran around the house, putting away groceries, cooking, and setting this up all at the same time,
Yeah.
while screaming at the kids to clean your fucking room, kind of thing.
And
And
and and
the
the
shirt I was wearing today looked like I had just pulled it out of a bucket of water.
nice.
So
And
while I'm
the and
serving everybody food, I asked my wife, I said, hey, please grab me a shirt. And the first shirt she found, she's like, here. And I'm like, all right.
thanks for giving me Kevin's shirt. I guess it'll work.
I literally looked at it for a
The
second going, is this Kevin's? I don't care.
yeah. The second thing, I just want you to know that I'm I'm incredibly offended, and I feel like I might need a safe place because your hat is
Oh,
incredibly
yeah.
insensitive and
Yeah.
racist.
Well, we established on Saturday that apparently I'm racist. So whatever. It's not my
Jeff the
fault.
racist.
It's not my fault. Cleveland decided to change their fucking logo, and I'm not buying
It
another
is
hat
real.
from Cleveland until they change it
It
back
is
to this one.
really. Yeah, it is really weird to see you in a hat though, because I'm so used to you not having a hat on, and then you showed up with a hat on tonight, and then
Well,
you
if
explained to
anybody's
me
wondering
that
why I'm wearing a fucking hat, go ahead and listen to Saturday's episode. And the whole time Chris is picking on me about your hair looks like you're fucking Johnny Bravo. Now you look like Ace Ventura. And I was like, shut the fuck up, dickhead. So, But as I
I
said,
have.
my wife and I argued about it. She's like, "You're gonna wear a hat during the podcast." I said, "Well, A, Chris wears a hat, number one. Number two, Chris makes fun of my hair, so fuck him. I'm wearing a hat."
I'm like a land developer inside of your head right now. I have taken up so much
See,
space. I'm
property's
giving you
right over
so
here.
many.
Look at it. See?
Yeah, I've given you
Start
so many
charging you rent.
complexes.
Start charging you rent in my head.
Yeah, right.
Dick. No, but I literally, this morning, as I said, we were going through the old clothes, and my kids had buried my hat because mom had told them to hide it because dad would wear it all the time, and she hates when I wear a hat. And we pulled out, and I was like, "There's my hat." I threw it on. I've worn it all
Also,
day.
also, I don't think the defense. Well, Chris does it, or Chris does it too, is a very good defense.
Oh, it's a terrible defense. It's terrible. It's horrible. It's worse.
But I will say, like I said, as weird as it is to see you in the hat, it's a good look, man. I like it. Yeah,
Well,
I'm gonna have to.
I used to wear a hat just as much as you did. You do,
Mhm.
but my wife hates the way I look in a hat, and I'm like, why? She's like, I just don't like hats. I'm like, well, all right. So I stopped wearing hats.
I'm gonna have to send you down
I like to
one
my
of
wife.
the but. I'm gonna have to send you down one of the Budweiser hats I just got.
Or you can just send me the cash that it costs to ship it because Jesus Christ, shipping is so
Well,
expensive right now.
I'll send it. I'll send it through the mail.
No, don't do that because I'll never get it. I'll never
you
get
know,
it. Snail mail here. My parents,
yeah.
when I first moved here, sent me some things, and I was like, just FedEx it, and they're like, oh, we'll send it snail mail. Never saw it.
You'll get it. You'll get it in like 20, 25 years. We'll be like 60, 65. All of a sudden, you'll
No,
get a
it has
package.
nothing
You'll be
to
like,
do. It
all
has
right.
nothing to do with that. Once it goes through customs, customs will be like, oh, somebody in customs is like, oh, mine,
Yeah,
and then I'll
mine.
never see it. Yeah. Where FedEx is real good about, no, that's not yours. That's going to this dude.
Yeah.
Because anything we ship, we always put insurance on. So FedEx would have to pay for it. You can't do insurance on regular snail mail.
What would you use to ship? I mean, like, could you use like FedEx, UPS,
I use
DSL? What?
you can use DHL, FedEx, and I think UPS is here. I've never seen a UPS truck.
Well, then I mean,
well, actually, FedEx here. When you go to FedEx here, not FedEx, UPS, you actually have to go to the office to pick it up. They don't deliver.
Oh, really?
Where UPS, you have to go pick it up. FedEx will deliver, and what's the other one? DHL will deliver to the house. But you have to give them a number to call. So they're like, hey, we're 5 minutes out. Meet us outside.
Huh.
Well, they have a gate. They won't leave it at the gate. If they
Yeah.
show up, I'm not here. I'm not at the gate, or they don't have a number to call. They'll literally contact you to contact me to go pick it up at the fucking office.
What the hell?
Well, just like in the States, everybody, if they see a package on your doorstep, they'll take it. Please don't.
Porch pirates, man.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Yeah, honey. I love you, but Daddy's kind of busy. That's your mother.
There you go. Way to
right
clean it
there.
up.
She's got to ask me.
Yeah. It's so much better than the shut the fuck up and get the hell out of here.
I was trying to be magnetic about it. I was like, okay, look, I am live, so I won't be mean about it. So, honey, please go away.
Honey, I love you, and you're my sweet daughter. But if you don't get the fuck out of here,
I'm going to kill you.
I'm going to throat punch you.
Oh my goodness! But yeah, today.
So
yeah,
I was just going to say. So there's kind of a big deal going on down there today. I was kind of curious.
Yes,
do they do anything? Is there like festivities?
Normally, well, yeah. Normally they do the in Mexico City, and my wife can hear me now, so she will correct me. I'm sure. In Mexico City, they do the Viva Mexico, where they ring the president of Mexico rings the bell. They'll say something like for the Republic, and then ring the bell, and everybody goes Viva Mexico and all that stuff. That happens at midnight tonight, I believe. Is it at midnight? Yeah, it's at midnight tonight. 90% of the time, uh, everybody will have a bunch of parties, eat a bunch of good Mexican food. We were actually going to go to her
Is there such
mom's.
thing as bad Mexican food?
No, there is no such thing as bad Mexican
I was
food.
gonna say I've never had it, and
Well, there are
you
some
know,
things that
as
her mom makes that I don't like ceviche. I'd rather eat shit because it's basically Mexican sushi. It's
nice.
you actually once again, my wife will correct me if I'm wrong. You basically tear apart fish and put it in a pan, and then you with a bunch of accoutrements, so to speak,
Mhm.
and you use lime
Instead of
juice.
rice, instead of
Yeah,
rice, you wrap it in a tortilla shell.
no, you don't wrap it. You
I'm
literally
just
put it
kidding.
in a like a Pyrex pan or a bowl,
Mhm.
and you squeeze lime juice on it, and it gets mildly cooked by the lime juice. It's
Interesting.
cooked by yeah. It as somebody that hates fish, I'm always like, look, if we're gonna go eat that, let's stop at McDonald's on the way so Dad can eat something because I'm not
Yeah, right.
eating. Oh, it
I would
I
try it. Yeah, like as I've said in the past, I used to work security at an apartment complex, and the front we called Little Mexico because every building up there was Mexican families, and like 6 or 7 of the buildings was one family alone, and they fed us all the time.
oh
We got lunch when we got there, and then they brought us dinner at dinner time, and we never asked what anything was. We just ate it because that shit was fucking delicious.
well the cab we were in today, my wife asked the cab driver, do you have plans tonight? He's like, well, with the pandemic, we're not really supposed to have large gatherings, so tonight we're not doing anything. And I was like,
Oh
yeah,
shit!
that's good.
Inviting them over for a little menage a
No,
trois.
no, it was one of those things. It's like, it's the polite thing to do. You ask everybody, what do you got doing tonight? What do you got doing tonight?
So
And usually, yeah, go ahead.
do they do like fireworks or like parades or
Um,
anything? Like we do up here.
no, not the way we do. I mean,
Did we even say
believe it
what
or
was
not,
going on down there?
fireworks happen New Year's. People buy fireworks during New Year's like crazy. I don't know why.
Did
New Year's.
did you? Oh yeah, we do it up here too. Did you even say what was going on down there? Like, what's so special about today, other than the fact that the
It's Mexican Independence Day. It's where Mexico got their independence from Spain, I believe. Correct, honey? Spain. The Independence Day is from Spain. Yeah, independence from Spain today.
21 years down there
Uh,
and you have no idea?
well, I like to double check because 90% of the time I'm wrong, and then my wife goes on a tyrant because she's
Don't
very,
worry.
very uh, what patriotic.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't worry, I had you
No,
covered if
no,
you were
no.
wrong.
Yeah, no, there's that too. I'm sure you got Google open, going, yeah, go
I
ahead,
don't even
piss them
have
off.
Google open, damn it. I didn't need Google. I'm just, like I said, I'm the whole package, my friend. I'm sexy
But
and I'm smart.
um,
Just deal with
but I wanted to
it.
clarify the difference
I'm
between
cultured.
a lot of people are like, oh, in Cinco de Mayo, Mexican independence. And actually, Cinco de Mayo is because they won a certain battle a long time
Yeah,
ago.
that was that France that they beat?
Actually, I don't know because my wife didn't know.
How
And
does
all my
she not
knowledge of
know?
Mexico, well, because it was before her time. It's one of those things.
Oh, there was a
Rest
lot
of
of
the
things
states,
before our.
in the states, Cinco de Mayo is like kind of a big deal. Here,
It's a.
not such a
It's
big
a.
deal. Everybody's just like, fuck it, we got the day off. No big deal.
No, it's just another
It's more
day
like a
for us to
Labor Day
party
thing.
and drink.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a Labor Day
It's
thing. That would be the equivalent
yeah.
to in the
Fine.
U.S. It's like a Labor Day.
I just had to check it because I thought you had me second guessing myself. Yeah, Cinco de Mayo is or the 5th of May is a holiday that celebrates the Mexican Army's victory over France at the
Oh
Battle
man,
of Puebla.
yeah, Battle of Puebla. There you go. And
Yeah,
where Mexican
because I'm
Independence
fucking
Day
smart.
is. Now, see, the place to be for Mexico for today is Mexico City. Now they got a
Because they just
quote unquote like a square. It's literally a giant. It's a giant square. I've been there.
yeah.
Where the president comes out on this balcony, and they have. I mean, this square gotta hold a couple thousand people. and they ring the bell and all that stuff, and it's really cool to see. I don't want I would like to be there in person, except for the fact that there's all those people there. I don't like people. I don't like crowds.
Yeah. But it's
know,
just like a big party and a celebration.
Yeah. Where down like normally down here, you'll have like in Cancun or small towns throughout Mexico, you'll have house parties.
Yeah.
Like everybody on the block will be having a different house party, and 14 families are at one house party, and it usually ends about 3 a.m., 4 a.m. because a party in Mexico just doesn't stop. You have people in there held hostage, just going, man, I just want to go home.
Yeah.
Because
well, I mean,
that's the great thing about partying in Mexico. It just never ends because somebody somewhere will make a beer run or show up with a shit ton of beer, and you're just like,
well, as I say, I mean,
beer go to waste. I better drink it.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, it's the same thing up here, depending upon your group of your groups of people that you hang out with. I mean,
right.
So yeah, I was just curious that they celebrated, because their Independence Day is pretty similar to ours. Only theirs is their independence from Spain. Ours was after we bitch slapped the English.
Right.
The England, English, whatever, British.
Another day, I want to go to like Puebla or I can't remember the name of the town, but for Day of the Dead.
Yeah, I would like to.
Basically, it's nothing really happens. I mean, unless you go to like Xcaret or something like that, they have a real cool setup there. But in the smaller areas like Puebla and stuff like that, they go full fucking out where you're just like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. Once again, I'd love to go, but I don't want to go because there's too many people.
I think that would be a pretty cool celebration to go to. I mean, it's much like, you got to get over the whole people thing. I don't like people either, but my bucket list, I want to go to Mardi Gras. I just want to go to New Orleans in general, period. But I want to go to Mardi Gras.
That's like Cinco de Mayo and well, you've seen the movie Coco, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure Kat saw it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like that.
Yeah, the kids actually. It was actually a pretty good movie.
It's a good movie. My wife loves that movie. I think I've seen that movie 50 times.
It's a good movie. But I also like the mariachi music, so that's one of the things that turned me on to that movie. That Spanish style of music, I don't know, mariachi and that sound and whatnot. I like that. So
we actually used to have a neighbor that was a mariachi. I was like, dude.
I used to when I worked for Orkin, I had a customer of mine that had he was Mexican. He was Hispanic, but he was in a mariachi band. Okay. And I used to intentionally, once I figured it out, I would schedule my service for band practice and stuff like that. And then just go, and he was like,
the neighbor we had.
Because I asked him
every time I saw him, I'd just call him Antonio. He's like, why?
Because I asked him, I said,
that's not my name. I'm like, Banderas. It's not funny. I'm like, no, motherfucker, look at your pants.
Calm down, El Mariachi.
Yeah. Well, he used when you tell somebody to come in Spanish, like come here, you say bien, and it's with a V, but it sounds like a B. And my wife, when we first met him, I was talking to him, and she's like, Ben, and so I went up to go see what she wanted, and for the next 6 months, he called me Ben, like the name Ben, because he thought that was my name. And when we finally broke it to him that wasn't my name, he was seriously disappointed.
Poor guy.
He's like, dude, for 6 months I thought your name was Ben. I'm like, it's not like we talk all the time, dude. But okay.
Yeah. He had a really nice house, but he had much like I wanted to do. He had a building that he built on the back of the house that he built a studio in, where they recorded their music and everything like that, and they had a whole setup. And I asked him, I said, when do you guys get together and play? And he was like, oh, we practice. And I was like, would it be a problem if I schedule your service when you guys practice? He was like, no, come over. So and then it just so then it just became a thing that I would schedule my service for their house when they had practice so I could hang out and listen to the music. And I've always enjoyed the music, and to see it, because that's the only time I've ever seen it live and in person, was just, and they go, I mean, even just for practice, man, they were like, you would have thought they were doing a concert in front of 100,000 people. And it was just the Orkin guy going, yay, yay.
Well, the funny thing is when somebody turns 18, there's like a little tradition here where you hire a mariachi band to wake them up at 5 a.m.
Awesome. Yeah.
Well, it's all funny dandy until your neighbor's like, dude, it's 5 o'clock in the fucking morning. Go away. I'm going to turn on the hose.
Oh, let them have fun, man. That's like nothing. That is like one of the like happiest. You can't help but be happy and be in a good music.
No, I mean,
or in a good mood. A good mood.
When I first wake up, it's like, what the shit? Oh, okay. Somebody's turning 18.
Yeah.
I'm going back. And you can usually drown it out, but them horns are seriously loud, man.
I don't think I could. I think 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm jumping up and dancing.
No, well, as
I don't know if this is racist the way I'm dancing, but I can't help myself.
Super early every day, and this morning, knowing she didn't have to go to work, I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna sleep in for a good 20 minutes or whatever." And she got mad because I was snoring. She's like, "You snore?" I'm like, "Of course I snore. I'm sleeping."
Of course I snore. I'm fat. I'm old. Leave me alone.
I'm like, please, you should hear you.
Summer, she likes my snoring. Like she said that it's soothing and it's comforting. I'm like, okay, I'm used to getting punched in the side of the head because I was snoring, and I start snoring and you cuddle up closer. I can dig that. I ain't mad at that.
The cuddling up for me happens as we're going to bed. My wife likes to lay her head on my chest and she'll fall asleep on my chest. The problem is I'm still up for another 2 hours. Like I'll watch a movie or whatever. And then midway through, I'm like, shit, I gotta piss, or shit, I gotta take a crap, or whatever. And I have to do the hug and roll to lay her down softly so I can go to the bathroom. Then I come back and she's like, where'd you go? It's been forever. I'm like, I went to piss. I was gone 3 minutes. Calm down.
Calm down. Just yank your arm out from underneath her, flop her down on, push her, knock her down. Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
I gotta piss. Bitch.
But I literally will go, honey, I gotta go to the bathroom, and I'll slowly roll her over, and then she still just doesn't realize I left until I come back. Where are you? I'm like, I went for a piss and a cigarette. I mean, what are you going to do?
You want a review of last Sunday's NFL games? I got a review for you. Kansas City got lucky as shit, and your coach should be suspended and fined out of his ass. I ain't even mad though. Casey's in here poking the bear. Casey Tiger coming in here poking the bear. I ain't even mad because the Cleveland Browns took arguably one of the best teams to the limit and dominated them and had their way with them for 3 quarters. Like Kansas City was a no good 2-bit hooker on 2 for Tuesday.
And then they throat punched them as they sprinkled the meth over their steak.
Well, they were going to throat punch them, but they whiffed on the throat punch and punched themselves in the dick. But I'm not even, like I said, I'm not even really mad. They're 16 weeks. Cleveland looked really good in that game. And, KC, I have nothing but respect for KC, even though twice now they've had some bullshit shenanigans with the referees. Yeah, Kansas City.
Yeah.
But
you got to break it down to layman's terms.
Kansas City Chiefs, professional football team. Don't worry, I had to have the conversation. No, I had to have the conversation with my daughter Sunday as I'm watching football. She's like, what is this, college? And I'm like, no, college is on Saturday. This is the NFL. She's like, well, what is the NFL?
Tell me.
Yeah, she's like, well, what is the NFL? I said, it's professional. You've been watching football with me since you were like 3. Don't act like all of a sudden you just forgot what football was. The Browns will redeem themselves this week when we smack the dog piss out of Houston, though.
Oh, God willing. Well, like I said, I watched while we were, since we didn't have internet this morning and we were going to pay it later today. We didn't want the distraction of having internet and figuring out what songs to play or whatever. I just threw on Draft Day, which is about the Browns, and
Yeah.
that movie's so good.
Never watched it.
Baby.
Never watched it.
As a Browns fan, you should be ashamed of yourself.
I've heard it
It's
all
got
before.
an all-star cast, dude. Dennis Leary, Jennifer Garner, the guy that played Superman in Smallville.
Oh, speaking of
Kevin Costner.
Speaking of all-star actors, comedians, whatever, did you hear the news today?
No,
probably not. Norm Macdonald died. Norm Macdonald died.
No shit.
He supposedly, much like Chadwick Boseman, he's been fighting cancer for the last 9 years and didn't tell anybody about it. Like his family didn't know or anything, and he passed away from cancer. And I was like, damn, I love that dude. He was one of my favorite.
Biggest fan, but I mean, I was a fan. It's not like
I love Norm Macdonald
religiously or anything.
Yeah,
but
I love Norm Macdonald. He was one of my favorite SNL cast members. I liked his dry sense of humor. Just how he would deliver, like his lines or his comedy. It was kind of serious, but at the same time, it was just like, damn, man, I would have never guessed that Norm was fighting cancer, especially for 9 years. But I think he passed away yesterday. I think it was.
When we were at one store, and I literally thought, can't remember his name. I want to say Donnie, but it's not Donnie. Danny Glover. I thought he died because they were showing like tributes to him, but it's apparently he's in a movie with some Mexican girl that got famous. That she won an Oscar last year. But I was like, oh,
Danny Glover.
Yeah, Danny
from Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, I thought he died, but apparently I was wrong because I literally was watching it going, why are they showing pictures of this dude instead of showing him talk? Because he's talking. Yeah. You can hear him talking. And I'm like, did this motherfucker die? Because I can't read the Spanish on screen. And my wife was clear on the other side of the store, and I'm just sitting there watching. And then they showed him talking. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
I literally got nervous there for a minute.
Yeah, no, they were talking about that on the radio today, and I was like, holy shit. That is insane.
That's terrible.
And he was still going on day. He's fighting cancer for 9 years, and he was still going on day to day. He was still doing his stand up. I think he had a new talk show or whatever. It was like, hey, Norm has a talk show that he was still doing, and everything like that. So and again, much like Chadwick Boseman, nobody had any idea. And this guy's filming the Avengers movies, and he's doing other movies, and he's still going out. And
I think the cast knew about Chadwick because
there's
a video floating around where Chadwick he had come back from a treatment and he had to do a panel, and the dude that plays Vision literally reaches over and taps him on the shoulder because Chadwick's falling asleep. And he's like, "Yo,
yeah,
like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just wiped." He's like, "Okay, just check."
Yeah.
I saw that.
Well, but it's just wild, that. Man.
Well, I mean, when I think Norm Macdonald, I think of him in, he never did really major movies, but he'd show up in like Adam Sandler movies every once in a while and be like, damn, I got it.
Oh yeah, he was in a ton of Adam Sandler movies. Him and Artie Lang were thick as thieves. Him and Artie Lang were like brothers, and Artie put a thing on Twitter basically saying, and poor Artie's been through hell and back as it is. That guy's battled cocaine and every other addiction known to mankind. But he basically put out a thing on Twitter saying he's like, I'm lost. I don't even know how to keep going on or anything like that. So hopefully Artie will be all right, because Lord knows Artie's been through hell and back, and
You know, shit.
Yeah, he did. Casey said he
That's what
wrote
you
the.
do when I die.
I'm like,
I need a hose.
the show must go on. as I said, we're yeah. Casey said that he wrote the Roseanne Barr show.
Oh no shit. The new one
Yeah.
or the old one?
So I mean, Norm did a lot of things behind the scenes. I mean,
Yeah,
Norm
I
was
think most of his work behind the scenes. But he got paid like he was in that Rob Schneider movie where I think it was I want to say Deuce Bigelow. But I don't think it was Deuce
well.
Bigelow.
There's that scene that stands out, and I think it was Billy Madison, where they
Right.
were all in the pool and they were fucking hammered, and Sandler was like, what day of the week is it? And Norm's like, October,
Well, the
because
one
it
that
was
stands out to me is Rob
Nudie
Schneider goes up
Magazine
to a
Day.
bar. Rob Schneider goes up to a bar and he orders a drink. And Norm McDonald hands it to him and says, "That'll be $9." He's like, "Oh my God, I'll just take a water." So he gives him water. He'd be like, "That'll be $3." And he'd be like, "No." And he says, "Altogether, it's like $12." He's like, "No, you don't understand. I'm canceling the first drink and I want just the water." And Norm
Yeah.
McDonald holds up the swizzle stick and he's like, "Do you see this swizzle stick? If you don't give me the $12, I'm gonna take the swizzle stick, stick it in your dick hole, and move it around really fast." that always stuck out to me. And I was like, "Damn, that's funny."
Yeah, right.
But if somebody says Norm
It's just-
McDonald, that's the first scene that pops in my head because I'm like, that sounds like it would hurt.
yeah, he just he just had a way of
He could deliver the funniest line straight faced.
yeah, exactly.
You know,
And
much
and
like
I wish I would have
Chevy Chase used to.
I wish I would have pulled it up and had it ready. But there was a segment where he was on the Conan O'Brien show, and they had Courtney Thorne Smith on there, and they were talking about one of her upcoming movies, and Norm was cracking jokes about the movie because it was like just a nothing movie, and the actors, and he was making fun of the actors, and at one point, she said something about how much something cost, and Conan was like, "Oh, and what are you going to do with that, big boy?" And without skipping a beat or anything, Norm snapped back at him and hit him with a one-liner. And Conan was like, "Oh, fuck." You can just see the look on his face where he just absolutely fucking defeated. It's like Norm
He
took
got
his
nothing to say to it. Took his thunder.
yeah. It's
and
like
he's
Norm.
I'll take the wind right out of your fucking sail. One word.
Norm just snatched his entire soul out of his body and was like, "Yeah, finish him."
Well, didn't he do? He was in a movie where he's dressed as a fisherman. He was like I don't know if it's an Adam Sandler movie or Rob Schneider movie, but he was in the crowd as somebody's talking, and it was Norm Macdonald dressed as a fisherman, and he kept saying all like it was like a town hall meeting or something, and he just stand up and say something fucking weird, and everybody's like, "What?"
So something completely random and nonsensical.
Yeah.
But nah, he was
That's
he was a hell of an actor, a hell of a comedian, and like I said, I mean, he was one of my favorites on SNL, and he used to do the Weekend Update, which was
right.
ideal, perfect for Norm. But not that we matter, and not
he started it. He was one of the first ones to do it.
No, the Weekend Update goes all the way back to the original cast, man. Because I think Chevy Chase. I think it was Chevy Chase and
Chevy Chase. He came up with the
Chevy
idea.
Chase and Gilda Radner. Was it Radner? Somebody like that used to do it, and Chevy Chase would just randomly yell out that she was a slut.
Well, Chevy Chase is also one of those people. He could deliver a line straight faced, and you're just like, how did he do that without laughing his ass?
But like I said, not that we're anybody of any importance, and this won't get back to Norm's family, but condolences and best wishes. That sucks to Obviously, especially cancer's a mean, nasty, disgusting motherfucker, as Jeff said.
Yeah.
But hopefully, well wishes.
I hope Art can handle it over the next couple weeks or whatever.
Yeah, I think Artie's going to struggle, but those two were thick as thieves, man. They were brothers, and they never. He was like you didn't get one without the other. So
yeah, exactly. Even if the other was just standing around.
Yeah, but like I said, I really wish I wanted to bring it up tonight, and then I got home and I ate, and then my dad showed up out of nowhere, and then he got Pops showed up, and then he got mad because Joe showed up, and when Pops got here, I looked over the door because again, I don't get visitors. People don't come and see me. People don't even fucking text me, let alone come and see me. So I looked out the door. I looked out the window to see who it was, and then when Joe got here, I just went and opened the door, and he was like, "What the fuck? You look to see who it is when I knock, and then when Joe's here, you just open the door." And I was like, "Well, I didn't have to look out the door
the other."
Yeah, you're here, so I assume the next person that knocks on my door is going to be Joe, and it just so happened that she was coming home from work, and instead of going down to the light, she cuts down my road, and she seen the bike sitting out front, so. She pulled in, and he was like, "Yeah, you just look out there." I'm like, "Shut up, you big baby." It's like, it's nothing personal. Your son's a loser, and I have no friends, so nobody ever comes here. So it was random to get a knock on the door.
It literally happened to us the other day. One of my neighbors came by to borrow my socket set, and they knocked on the door, and I literally looked in the room, and I was like, "My wife's here. The kids are here. Who the fuck is knocking on our door?"
Well, that's what I did because
anybody that we know can't get past the gate because they don't have a fucking key. I was like, "Who the fuck's knocking on the door?"
Well, that's what I did. I was sitting here. I was sitting here. I literally just got done eating, and I was watching TV, and Christian and Xavier, which are Cash's little buddies that live over on the other in one of the other buildings, they had already came over.
I'm watching something that's blowing my mind. My kids can't lift up a basket of clothes, and it's driving me nuts. So I have to go move it because if not, I'll just sit there and stare at them. So give me 2 seconds. Go ahead.
So Christian and Xavier had already what's going on, Bradley? Had already come over to see if Cash was home, and I was like, "Nah, he's not here." So then just a random knock, and I had to stop and sit here for a minute, and I paused my TV show that I was watching. I was like, "Did somebody just knock on my door? Like, what the hell is going on?" And then sure enough, it was Pops, and so I just went over there and opened it, and then Joe showed up. But yeah, it's like, I don't get many people that come over to the house, so how the fuck am I supposed to know?
When her brother showed up today, we usually expect a text or a call saying, "Hey, I'm at the gate, come open it." And he literally just knocked on the door today, and I was like, "How the fuck did you get in?" He's like, "One of your neighbors was leaving." And I was like, "Well, shit." At least I made a text. I could have been naked. Not that I was, but I could have been.
Naked. Well, I mean, and on that note, y'all get to think about Jeff being naked, and we're going to take a real quick break.
I knew I should have waited to move that laundry. Because
I know. That's what I was like. If you would just let me finish. I was like, if you would just let me finish what I'm saying, then you can go move that basket.
No, but the problem is the kids were getting louder and louder as they laughed trying to lift this thing, and my wife just sitting there laughing at them.
It's okay, Nick. It's okay, Nick Cage. We'll let it slide.
Well, on top of that, she did hurt her back today, so she couldn't help them. So I'm
just so you know, I'm coming back. Instead of bringing your camera up, I'm just going to put a picture of Nicolas Cage up because your hair is something else.
I know. I took my hat off. The crazy thing is, as you were talking about where you wear a hat all day, I'm not used to wearing a hat, and it's so much cooler not to wear the hat, temperature-wise.
Yeah.
Not to wear the hat.
I don't notice that, but now, especially now,
because
I have to wear
a hat all the time.
Yeah, so when I don't have my hat on, it's like, oh, okay. And then I have my hat on, it's like, that's the same thing. But I also need to make sure I wear a hat more often because, as you pointed out a couple of weeks ago, I look like a penis in witness protection. So, No, that's not the
Now you
reason
have
I
an
wear a hat.
excuse to actually wear a hat.
Yeah, I just that's not the reason I wear a hat. I always wear a hat, as we've said in the past. How
Right.
many times did I get yelled at for having a goddamn hat on?
The thing
Chris,
is, you
Chris,
yell
take
at
your
me, "Put the hat, take your hat off, Chris," and then you take it off. 30 seconds later, take your hat off, Chris. Oh, sorry, I forgot.
yeah, take your hat off. Okay, turn your back. I'm putting that bitch back on.
I remember getting yelled at for our hard hats on backwards.
Oh yeah.
But literally, if you set up the adjuster correctly, you can literally take the adjuster off and switch. The
Well,
hat
and
off.
just take everything out and just reverse everything.
Exactly.
Maybe if Vinny would have had his hat, maybe if Vinny would have had his hard hat on the right way, he wouldn't got
He
shot in the head
did.
with the pressure washer.
He did
No, he
have it
didn't.
on. He had it on, and you fucking turned that pressure washer
No.
on and took his hat off and cut his forehead all at once. I
Yeah,
remember
nobody
I was
had it
standing
on.
right behind you, and I was like,
You
"Oh
were probably.
shit!"
Well, he had it on backwards, but you were
the one where
probably.
he's
Correct.
egging you on to do it.
Yeah, there was no problem about it. You were 100%. You were my little cheerleader.
Lest we forget, we had literally just been shown that pressure washer could cut a 2x4 in half. Because I remember I was sitting there cutting 2x4s in half with a pressure washer just because we could.
So we all decided that we're going to shoot each other in the head with it. On that note, let's take a little break. Yeah, we are SMRT. We got some new music from Blacktop Mojo.
For a second, I went,
Yeah.
I literally had to spell it out in my head and go, "Oh, okay." He said smart.
Let
Let me get on my short bus.
Yeah, right? Oh, where's it at? I know I just uploaded new music. There it is. Okay. We got new music from Blacktop Mojo tonight off their new album. Because I finally decided to download more videos. So we're gonna take a real quick break, guys, and we will be right back after a little Blacktop Mojo. Mojo coming up, camera going down.
There we go.
Inside on the outside, dead, dumb and tongue-tied. Oh, hey there, young man, what's wrong with you now? You're sitting silent, you don't make a sound. Longing for one time, her eyes might meet mine. Oh, she looks up in here and smiles so bright. She never saw me as they both went by. Jealousy, it's killing me. I'm drinking poison, hoping I don't choke. Across the room, I feel so alone now. Jealousy, why can't she see? Why held not me? Oh, they dance round the room and she holds them close. If I think it loud enough, do you think she'll know? Jealousy, it's killing me. I'm drinking poison, hoping not to choke. Across the room, I feel so alone now. Jealousy, jealousy.
And welcome back to Nonsensical Nonsense, everybody.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
A little breaky brew. I had to go fry some chicken.
Yeah.
And just stared, just dead stared the camera the whole time. That wasn't creepy or anything.
I'm literally watching my kids dance to Fortnite dance videos, and I'm watching this. And I'm like, is that LeBron? there's a character that looks like LeBron, and I'm like, really? And he's wearing this Toon Squad. Yeah, I know it's LeBron James. It kind of can't miss it. But they're still dancing while watching 4 characters dance on the TV, and I'm like, really? When did these become my kids?
Yeah, right. When did all this happen? But as I said, welcome back to the show, guys. If you're not already, feel free to check us out on social media at Nonsensical Nonsense. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. We're even on YouTube and Twitch. And if you've been hanging out with us and hanging out in the chatters box tonight, greatly appreciated. And you want to catch every other episode, if you like what you hear, feel free to check out all the episodes on Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple, and pretty much anywhere and everywhere you get your podcast jollies. So go give Jeff the old thumbing, just the way he likes it. Sometimes he likes 2 thumbs at once. He's not picky. And if for some weird ass reason you want to sponsor this dumpster fire, or if you want to come on the show and you don't feel like hitting us up on social media, feel free to drop an email our way.
nonsensicalnonsense@gmail.com.
Yeah, man. Spot on. Gold star, sir.
Yes, I do what I can.
For both of us. We both get gold stars, man. We are.
I do what I can, you know. Oh my goodness.
Well, as I said, you know, we're trying to get some kind of some kind of a format going on here. So we're back for break.
Yeah, I'm also slowly getting back to a routine here in the house, so I can actually get on social media and do some advertising. I've been so lacking in the fact that I've been revamping the house and spring cleaning and all that stuff. I haven't had time to take a piss, let alone get on the phone.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
You know.
Well,
as we I didn't message you until 6 o'clock.
Yeah. And part of us getting back on track and trying to have something going on here. Mm-hmm. But with that being said, I would like to bring a little something that we call What the Fuck News. What the Fuck News with Blue.
Audio Jungle.
Now with your weather. It's raining. What's the weather like today, Ollie? It's wet.
I do have news stories because I am a professional.
Well, I literally was thinking of the top 5, and I couldn't think of anything that wasn't car related. I literally was like, top 5 cars? No. Chris will hate that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're like, hey, instead of
Buster Balls do top 10 football teams or top 5 football teams, put the Browns at like number 5. Just
I'd punch you in the face.
There's that beer can flying by my head.
How the hell? You should be playing for the Browns, Glick.
6,000 miles. Yeah. It's a hell of an arc.
I'm sorry, you're still bored, baby. But in news, in what the fuck news today, and this actually goes right along with your story of the Mexican independence. Well, it doesn't go along with your story, but it's related to Mexico.
Okay.
The Mexico, the Mexican government is having a lottery, doing a drawing.
Okay.
And the grand prize in this drawing is El Chapo's safe house.
Nice.
So the house former drug kingpin words are hard. Drug kingpin Joaquin. What the hell is his name? Joaquin.
Like
Joaquin El Chapo Guzman fled in 2014. What? Guzman? My bad. Whatever. It's Guzman. It's Guzman. Guzzles men. That's Jeff. El Guzzles men. Yeah. But El Chapo fled in 2014 when Mexican Marines had. I didn't even know y'all had a Marine Corps. Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. But when Mexican Marines had him surrounded, underwent some changes recently as the Mexican government prepared to give it away in a national lottery.
Okay.
The surveillance the surveillance cameras that covered every angle of the modest home's exterior were removed, and the hole under the bathtub that El Chapo had slipped through to reach a network of tunnels was covered with concrete slab. The Associated Press was given access to the property in a quiet. I'm going to destroy this name.
Go ahead.
Culican neighborhood.
Culiacan.
Oh, Culiacan. Whatever. Neighborhood ahead of the lottery. In recent weeks, Mexico's institution to return stolen goods to the people, known by its initials, the INDEP, gave it a fresh coat of white paint inside and out, and it tiled over the spot in the bathroom where the tub and the tunnel entry point had been. President Andres Manuel Lopez.
Yep, that's correct.
See, I got this. Words aren't that hard, especially when they're Spanish words.
Lopez if you can't pronounce Lopez, you got bigger problems.
But Lopez has been talking up the lottery of seized properties, but gave no mention to the history of this particular house. An expansion home in one of the Mexico City's swankiest neighborhoods and a private box at the famed Azteca Stadium have been garnered more attention. So they're just giving away. So they're having a lottery and giving back to the people, apparently.
Right.
And that made the news. El Chapo's safe house is enter that lottery, man.
It's in Mexico City, so it's like, and since it's his, it would be in the swankiest of swank neighborhoods.
Yeah,
because that dude had billions in cash. It's not like went to the safe deposit box at night in the bank. I'm like, here, let me drop off a couple $100. He would drop off a couple million at a time.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Which means there could be there. I mean, if you got that house, the first thing I would do is start tapping around the walls with a hammer just to check for holes, because
you start checking for hollow spots.
One of these wives of a Mexican gangster said they had a house that literally you could hit a button and the wall would open and it was just a room of cash, completely hidden. Mm-hmm. And she was like, if I needed money, I'd just go in there and grab a handful of cash.
Hey, tell the queen of reggaeton to take it down a notch or three, because we're in the middle of recording a goddamn podcast.
Thank you. Yeah, I was afraid it was going to show up.
Oh, it was loud, dude. It was like drowning you out. Yeah.
Nice. That's good to know. My mic can pick that up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, so how do you enter the lottery? That's what I want to know, because
I'm assuming much like you enter any lottery, you just buy a ticket. You know, it didn't really say in the article. It just said, I think that would be really cool, especially a guy like me who enjoys houses with a history, whether good and or bad.
Oh yeah, well, we talked about Capone's house. You want to talk about real life Capone, or or the modern day Capone. Jesus.
Yeah, real life Capone. Capone was a real guy.
Yeah, but you know what I mean the modern day
Yeah.
Capone.
So I think that would be really cool. I mean, not even just to win it, just to say that this was.
I would
But at the
literally
same
win it
time,
and turn around and sell the fucker.
but
Live
yeah,
on
I was gonna say at the same time, because it is modern, it is recent. You know, it's only 7 years. Would there be any concern of enemies of any sorts
that was the first thing I thought of when you said it. I was like,
that were
once
living
again,
under
I
a
take
rock
it
for the
and
last
sell that
7 years?
exactly because nobody holds a grudge like the cartel.
Because I mean, a guy like me, you know, a guy like me who has an array of weapons at his doorway, I'm down for that kind of business. But
Well,
a normal
I'm
average
sure
Joe,
the first
you
thing
know,
the government did was check every nook, cranny, tapped, took a ball peen hammer and tapped every millimeter of that
oh,
wall
absolutely.
to check because, like I said, especially being a safe house, which means it was probably under a dummy corpse in the first place. I'm guaranteed they pulled cash out of that place
Well, with it being
after exploring those tunnels.
2021 and not 1773, I don't think they walked around the house with a ball peen hammer. There are
It would
plenty
still
of
be a concrete house.
yeah, but dude, they have
Oh yeah,
equipment
I know what
that
you're
you
saying.
can
I know what you're saying.
yeah, they have cameras that you can look in a helicopter and see if there's bodies buried in the ground.
That's true.
I'm sure they have something modernized, even though it is Mexico still. I'm sure they have something modernized that they could use and do a scan of the walls in the house without
Well, they use
destroying
X-ray,
anything.
but yeah, I'm sure they X-rayed every millimeter of that house because, like I said, I watched an interview. My wife was watching it, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Because it had English subtitles, and this girl was saying that her husband, who was a former cartel, they had a house where you could literally go up to a certain part of the wall, touch it, and the wall would open, secret passage style, and it was just a room filled with cash. And I was like, oh, like king size bed size, just like instead of the frame, it was cash.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I sleep on that bed?
Speaking of why we're hanging out in Mexico and whatnot, every year there's actually a national toy Hall of Fame.
All right.
So every year they induct toys into the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
One of the, and I'm not going to go through the whole list of toys that are being on the list for this year, but one of the toys that's leading for the finalist is pinatas.
No shit.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a toy, but
I wouldn't necessarily consider it a toy. I've never thought of it as a toy.
But they also have. I don't know how good this group of finalists is because they also have sand in that group.
Oh, the
so
sand.
I don't know. It just says sand. They're running out of toys to put in the Hall of Fame, so now they're just like
they're running out of toys because I know Hot Wheels is in that. Hot Wheels probably one of the first to go in.
Yeah, well, the Cabbage Patch dolls are in that list this year, which
Oh,
kind of surprised that they're not already in there.
Yeah, mm-hmm. That would have been.
Well, it says. It says the Cabbage Patch dolls are the finalists, but also among the finalists being considered for the November induction are 5 competitive games: Battleship, Risk, The Settlers of Catan, which I've never heard of, Mahjong, and Billiards, as well as the Pinata American Girl dolls, Masters of the Universe, motherfucking He-Man.
Hell yeah!
And Fisher Price Corn Popper. I don't know what the fuck that is either. I think that's that little toy that you like. I think that's that little toy that you like push, and it's got the balls inside of it. It's got like a little dome.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. With the that you get the little kids used to when they walk. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, it says
my vote's for Battleship and He-Man. I'm down for both of those.
Oh, absolutely.
Risk.
I never understood Risk.
it's
I never understood
one of
this.
those games that
Even
just
now.
takes. Well, it's basically you conquer the world.
Yeah.
But I
But it
never
says
understood
the 2021 finalists were pulled from thousands of nominations. The National Toy Hall of Fame receives each year. Anyone can nominate a toy, and a panel of experts, along with input from the public, vote in the three to be inducted. Okay, so that explains a lot. They only induct 3 a year.
Oh, okay.
The 74 previous honorees have run the gamut from the simplest cardboard box and stick.
You know how it is when you buy your kid a really expensive gift, they're going to play with a box.
Mhm.
When
I mean, it literally says from the simplest, a cardboard box and a stick, to the groundbreaking Atari 2600, universally known checkers.
That game they used to play back in the day, back in the old West, where they an iron wheel and a stick. It's in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there's a show on Netflix that's it's called The Toys That Made Us.
Oh, I have seen. I haven't watched it, but I've seen that
documentary series. I haven't really got. They have also movies that made us. It's like actually really cool. But
yeah,
they talked about Hot Wheels and how the only reason Hot Wheels are as good as they are is because of guitars.
Because of what?
Guitars. The Hot Wheels, the company Mattel that makes Hot
Yeah.
Wheels. Originally, they were going to make little ukulele style guitars, right? And I don't, and I'm probably going to butcher this, but they basically they realized that the market for the little ukuleles and stuff wasn't going to go, so they had all these guitar strings laying around, and they started making Hot Wheels, and the axles of Hot Wheels were made out of guitar strings. Those guitar strings.
Huh.
And that's why they roll so well on that track, because that orange track, that shit's awesome.
Yeah. I know my buddy Kevin, him and his wife, they've got a little boy, and they've got into the Hot Wheels, and there's been a few times where she's posted Snapchats or whatever where they built tracks coming down the stairs and all this other,
My son and I were actually discussing Hot Wheels the other day. He has a GI Joe that he claims looks like me when I was younger, when I had my hair blonde and used to wear cargo pants all the time. He's like, this looks like you. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. But he said, did you ever play with G.I. Joes? I said, no, I always had Hot Wheels. And he's like, so you had a bunch of orange track? I was like, no. I literally would just play with Hot Wheels as themselves.
Yeah, well, that's what Cash does. I mean, because I've asked him before if he wanted like traction stuff like that. And he's like, nah, because he loves his Hot Wheels and like his monster trucks. You got
Hot Wheels became my cigarettes. Like now, I can always have a pack of cigarettes in my pocket. Back in the day, I used to have Hot Wheels in my pocket because you're sitting around. You go to like a laundromat when you're a kid, and you're sitting there and you're like, "Fuck, I'm bored." Well, I would pull out a Hot Wheels and start driving it around.
Yeah, you're driving around everywhere, driving across tables, driving across the.
Yeah. Well, I remember I had a buddy of mine that we'd go, do a night over as you're like 6 and 10 and stuff like that. And I'd spend the night at his house, and we would take the Hot Wheels and split them up and play Demolition Derby, where you literally roll your Hot Wheels across the concrete and try to crash into each other. Whoever's car flips over loses.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
you switch out for another car and try to beat that one. Oh, we loved it. You want to talk about hours of fun? Holy shit!
Mm-hmm.
And you get that uneven concrete that's got basically potholes in it. Sometimes your car doesn't even make it across that. And you're like, shit, I lost.
Yeah, 100%. But the other day, so my soon-to-be ex-wife, she's helping a friend of theirs. He's getting ready to move out of his house. He's been in his house. He bought it back in 1981. So his wife just passed away recently and whatnot. He's trying to move a little bit closer to his kids. So 40 years of when you live in a house for 40 years, stuff adds up.
Oh yeah.
You accumulate a lot of stuff. So they've been helping him for the last.
We've been in this house 3 years, and I'm like, where are we going to put all this shit?
No, trust me, I know how that goes.
2 years.
When
Moved in
I
December
was
2019.
when I was going through everything at the house in Charleston before I moved back home to Ohio, and I took 9 or 10 truckloads of shit to the dump.
Yeah.
I was like, where did all this shit come from? But but anyways,
it's little shit that you accumulate.
yeah.
It's never
But
big shit. It's always little shit.
Yeah. So anyways, they're helping him. He's an older gentleman, so he can't do a lot of things. So they're helping him get everything cleared out, and they're packing stuff up and taking stuff to Goodwill and blah blah blah. And I guess the other day, Cash came across some toys and whatnot that were his son's when his son was a kid,
Okay,
and he got this Michelangelo from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Little action figure that he brought over here, and he was like, "Dad, look at this Ninja Turtle," and I was like, "Wait a minute, let me see that."
I wanted
And I was like, "I had him," and Cash was like, "What?" And I was like, "This was when I was a kid. I had him." I said, "Where did you get this from?" And he was like, "Oh, it was in the box." And I'm not going to say the band's name, but it was like he said I could have it. It was his son's, and I was like, "Dude, I had this same exact Ninja Turtle when I was about your age." And he was like, "Are you serious?" And I was like, "Yeah, I had all of them, man." So that was like, it was really cool. And it was like, because he likes the Ninja Turtles. So he got home and he's got a few Ninja Turtles here. And he went in his room and was digging through stuff to find his turtle. And he brought his turtles out here and was playing with them and everything. And I was just like, that is so cool, because I remember when I was like, it just like
I remember seeing him
it's
on
not something
TV.
that, it's not something that you think about all the time.
Yeah.
But when I seen him playing with it, like those memories came like flooding back. And it was like, man, I remember having that same exact Ninja Turtle when I was about his age and playing with it just like he is right now. So I'm just hanging out, being annoying to my parents probably, and playing with my Ninja Turtle.
Well, I remember my grandmother used to have a friend that lived a couple hours away, and she had an antique store, and people would go in and drop off all these Hot Wheels when as their kids got older, and they would just drop them off so she could sell them. And every time we'd go like 3 or 4 times a year with grandma to go visit this friend of hers. And every time we go, the lady would allow me to take 4 or 5 Hot Wheels. She'd just take whichever ones you want. And I'd spend the entire day we were there searching through, well, do I want this one? Do I want this one? And I had the entire set of the Dukes of Hazzard from that box of like 400 fucking Hot Wheels. And I like, oh, I want this set this time, And my collection, oh my god, my collection was retarded.
Well, that's the crazy thing about Hot Wheels is that even after all this time, Hot Wheels are still super cheap. I mean, you can get a Hot Wheels car for less than $1.
Oh yeah.
You can buy
I think for like 4 or 5 years, when I was a young kid, if somebody asked me what I wanted for my birthday or Christmas, I always said the same thing: Hot Wheels.
Yeah, I mean, you could still go buy a pack of 5 or 6 Hot Wheels for less than $5.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it's crazy that all these years later, it's still a super popular toy.
Well, not to mention they came out in the 70s.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like all these years later, they're still a pretty popular toy amongst kids, but they're still relatively cheap. You know what I mean? Like a lot of toys, like you go look at Nerf guns or even like Marvel's huge. So you go and you look at like the Marvel action figures, and some of them motherfuckers are like $20 goddamn dollars, and it's like, but why?
They're barely posable.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I remember we bought Kevin some action. They're like 12-inch tall action figures, but their legs move, but their elbows don't. And it's like, oh, that's annoying. And they were like $10.
Cash has got a whole bunch of those. He's got like every fucking Marvel action figure. And again, it's like, that's cheap, and he likes them. So, granted, they're $10, but it's still relatively cheap. So, we all the time, every time, if we're in Walmart and there's one that Cash doesn't have, then we're we're getting it for him. But he's got all pretty much every Marvel character from all the Marvel movies.
Right. Yeah. Michelle,
um,
she's literally sitting here
and
waving
then he's
at
also
the
got.
front side of the phone. I'm like, nobody can see that.
But then he's also got, a bunch of DC characters. I think he's got the entire Justice League except Wonder Woman. And it's not that he doesn't want Wonder Woman. He just haven't found her because he's like, I
Right.
just need Wonder Woman and I'll have the Justice League. And I'm like, and we just got to find her, buddy. I mean, as soon as we can find her.
Well, yeah. I mean, but the one thing, when my wife was pregnant with Kevin, I was like, I found out, he was going to be a boy, and I was like, oh, Daddy's going to get some Hot Wheels. And unfortunately, my son's just not a car freak like Dad, and I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
But I don't know about you, but I still, when I go through Walmart or wherever, and they got the Hot Wheels aisle, I still take a look.
Oh, if I'm not with the kids, I still walk through the toy aisle. Period.
Oh yeah.
Because just because. I'm a big kid. And I've said it a lot. I've said it a lot throughout the years. When I'm streaming and stuff. I grew up on Toys R Us, and I still stand firm to the Toys R Us credo. I'm a Toys R Us kid, and I don't want to grow up. Well, there's a million toys that I can choose from.
From bikes to trains to video games, the biggest toy store there is. I don't want to grow up.
Exactly.
If I did, I wouldn't be a Toys R Us kid. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
I constantly will be out of nowhere. I'll just start singing that song.
Yeah, exactly.
Old commercials from our day that would play 400 times an episode of whatever you're watching. Stuck.
Yeah.
Stuck with
it. And and being a dad, and I got 2 boys, I'm like, man, I could still go buy these toys, and it's okay.
And it's okay because they're for my kids. And the next thing you know, you're hiding them. But I actually, I was telling my wife I want to build a shelf downstairs above the kitchen archway that I just load up with Hot Wheels and model cars. Because I have one of a 50. Hand me that 55 Chevy. I have this 55 Chevy that sits on a rack.
Yeah.
The doors open and all that stuff. This thing's cool as hell. Put it back. And forgot I had it. And like I said, we were cleaning out the toy box today, and I was like, "Go put that on my speaker." That's mine now.
Go put that up.
But I think this thing was like $8, or no, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I think it was like $3 or something like that. And I really had to think about, do I really need it? But as a car freak, my dad's favorite car is a 55 Chevy. So, and being that it was a 55 Chevy on a lift that I could put up as a display, I couldn't pass it up, so I had to buy it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, enough about toy talk and nostalgia. Let's I've never been arrested before.
I have.
But if I were to ever get arrested, I feel like this is what I would get arrested for.
Okay.
Now we've hung out in Mexico tonight, and not much is going on in Florida. Well, I do have a Florida story. Whether we get to it tonight or not is beside the point. But I can get to that Saturday. But we're gonna go to one of the places that we very rarely ever hear anything from. You probably don't even know where it's at or what it is.
What's that?
We're gonna go to Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
What? Say it again. Where?
Sioux Falls. I probably said it wrong, but
it's Sioux Falls, isn't it?
No, it's Sioux Falls. They hard pronounce the X.
Okay.
It's South Dakota. Yeah. I swear to God, this story cracks me up because if I was ever going to get arrested, this is what I would be arrested for. It says, police. The headline is Police Finds Sioux Falls Man Drinking Beer Inside a Closed Bar.
Yep. I can picture that being you.
So it says, a Sioux Falls man faces burglary charge. Burglary.
Burglar, like,
fucking hard.
That's a hard word.
Burglar. burglary. Yeah, now I can't say it at all. Basically,
Burglary
yeah,
charges. Yes.
burglary. Yeah, burglary. There we go. Got it. Burglary charges. After police found him after hours in a bar drinking beer. Police say the 55-year-old man was arrested at 5:30 in the morning. 5:30 in the morning, Friday.
He works third shift.
The man was charged with. Yeah, leave the man alone. Yeah, that's
third shift.
That's happy hour for him. Yeah, the man was charged with first-degree burglary, and booked into the Mannahaha County jail. The Argus Leader reports an alarm notified police of a possible occupant at the bar. Police said they found the man walking around the establishment drinking a beer. Police were unsure how the man got into the bar, but they said,
"Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
No, that's not."
But they said forced entry was not a factor. So I mean,
he might have passed
more
out
than likely
or something, got locked in.
Yeah, I was gonna say more than likely the bartender called last call. He was passed out under a table or some shit. Woke up an hour or two later. Nobody was gone. He was like, nobody's gone. Nobody's there. Yeah, he was like, somebody give me a beer. This is the worst service. Fuck it, I'll get it myself. It was just kind of, he was just kind of moseying around, enjoying his beer, and I feel like the cops are the bad guy in this situation.
I do too.
This guy, he's minding his own business, having a beer. Shazam!
Yeah, Michelle's sitting here trying to get on camera.
Yeah, Cash has a couple Shazam.
They just want to jump on camera.
But
those 12-inch figures, and Kevin actually has Shazam is the only one that's posable, and he's like, "No, this one's posable."
Cash has that. Cash has that one. But yeah, I mean, I feel like the cops should have just let him be. He wasn't hurting anything. He wasn't hurting anybody. He probably would have paid his tab.
I was going to say he probably would have paid his tab when the bartender showed up. Yeah.
Bartender shows up.
Here's $300. I gotta go home.
Bartender shows up at like 1 o'clock, and he was like, "Yeah, where the fuck have you been? I've been trying to get a beer in this place. I had to do it myself." Yeah, I'm not tipping any of you motherfuckers.
And the cooler's off. What the fuck?
Yeah. So I had about 13 beers. How much is that? I got to pay my tab and go home.
Just put it on my
I feel like he wasn't doing it. I feel like he wasn't doing anything wrong.
I don't think it was malicious. I think what you said, he actually got locked in the bar.
Yeah,
which would be kind of cool. If I
don't fuck around and lock. Yeah, I mean, if you lock me in a bar, guess what I'm doing?
Well,
you lock me in a bar. I'm popping the register. I'm getting quarters for days. I'm feeding the jukebox, and I'm drinking my ass off.
Face off, yes.
And and the whole time I'm on Snapchat. I'm locked in the bar. Where you at?
Not locked in the bar. Where you at? Actually, like, shit. The cops are here. I shouldn't have Snapchatted that shit.
Hey, you guys want a beer?
How to open the door?
Bartender,
come on in.
Yeah, just think of me a Tom Cruise in Cocktail. I'm flipping bottles around and everything else.
40 of them are broke, but that's okay. Put it on my
practice.
tab.
I'm practicing. Yeah, I'm practicing. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
You think Thomas Jefferson discovered electricity on the first try?
Exactly.
Don't judge me.
Well, you know what Tom said when he invented the light bulb. They said, were you discouraged that it took you 175 tries? And he said, no, I found out 175 ways not to do it. Good point.
I love how you say Tom, like you guys are best friends.
Buddies.
You guys hang out on the weekends, and you guys like hit the grill on Saturday, and
we just drink all that. Me and Tom.
Me and Tom. Tom once told me. Tom once told me that I learned how not to do something 175 times. I'm just
Well,
saying.
that's like one of those motivational things that you hear. It's like when
Yeah.
Thomas Jefferson invented the light bulb, he was asked, "What were you discouraged of?" He said, "No, I learned 175 ways not to do it, though."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm just curious to know, like, some of these inventions and shit. This is a beautiful thing about what we do and how we do what we do.
Exactly.
Out of all these inventors and whatnot who've made these amazing discoveries and this, that, and the other thing. Oh my goodness.
Oof.
How many times did they fuck themselves up when they failed on an
Yeah,
invention?
exactly.
Or
they just sit in the corner and weep. Can't make a light
like
bulb.
did Thomas Jefferson did Thomas Jefferson tie a metal rod to a kite 45 times and get struck by lightning 45 times?
That was Ben Franklin.
Or Ben Franklin. Oh, my bad. Ben Franklin. No,
actually,
Thomas Jefferson invented the telephone, right?
Yeah, no, that was Bell. That was Graham Bell.
Man, I'm all fucked up.
That's why they call it Ma Bell.
Do not get your history lessons from nonsensical nonsense is what we learned tonight. Hey, look. Hey, you know what? I failed. I failed 3 times, but I learned.
You know how when you answer the phone, you say hello. Well, you know what Alexander Graham Bell said when he first used the telephone. He said,
that?
"Ahoy."
Ahoy.
Ahoy was the first. Ahoy. That was the first hello on the phone.
Is there a explanation behind that, or is it just useless?
No, it's those useless facts. I will clean it.
We're all gonna just stare. We're all just gonna stare at Jeff while he looks off into the distance and gets yelled at by his wife.
No, well, like I said, I have to walk the dog every once in a while, and I forgot because we were putting away groceries, getting everything done, and now I have to.
Yeah, it should be all right. Yeah, it should be all right. Tell your wife to clean up the poop.
Yeah, right. But yeah, that's one of those random facts about weird things in history. I think the whole Benjamin Franklin kite thing. I think that's actually a myth.
I have no idea. That seems like a really dumb way to do it.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds like one of those things you hear, but I mean, if you've ever flown a kite and tried to hang something on a string, you already know that's not really easy.
Well, I mean, it's easier than you think. That'd be like if somebody was like,
keys. Apparently he hung a key and you can't really use like string because it's not conductible.
Yeah.
So, as you're doing it, you're like, okay, what kind of wire do you use? Do they even have that kind of wire back today? And the first time he tried it, he was like, shit, this thing ain't working. My kite's been struck 4 times. That's because it, has no metal in it.
Yeah.
Well,
that's one of those. That's one of those things. Like,
holy shit, that hurts.
God damn.
Ben laying on the floor. Going, what the fuck was that?
That'd be like one of those things, like because I'm sure this is bound to happen if it already hasn't happened. But some college or some university is going to do a study, and the government's going to give them millions of dollars for some jackass to be like, I wonder if piranhas give good blowjobs or not. Like, I don't think it's something that you should. Maybe you shouldn't be doing that.
Well, I mean,
there's some.
Well, you know the story of Paul Revere. Him riding a horse, saying the British are coming, British are coming, all that shit. Well, you realize that his amazing ride was only like 4 miles.
But I mean,
the guy that brought him the news did like 40 miles. But he gets the credit because he was a white guy.
Why are you so hateful? Why are you hating?
I'm not being hateful. This is
not you,
fact.
Summer.
Oh,
Summer.
Oh.
She said she came in earlier, said we were boring, and she came in like a half hour ago, said she's still bored. And now she just came in again, and she was like 8 hours later. How's the Kevin Holly show going tonight? Oh, that's right. You can't watch him unless you're on Twitch.
Yeah. Good Lord. We have never been banned on Facebook.
I love that guy to death. I don't know what's going on. I want to ask him what's going on because Holland hasn't. He's been doing the show solo for like the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know. Holland was in and out of the hospital. Something happened to her. Holland, something like that. But yeah,
Names
he's
are
been
hard
doing the
too.
show solo. Yeah, just fucking everything is fucking hard. But something she hasn't been doing very well health wise, and he's been doing the show solo. So and I know he's been on Twitch the last few weeks because he can't get on Facebook right now. So
Maybe you should switch to halves. Just live stream
well,
like a smart person.
I told him the same. Well, it's not even that. It's because much like you on Twitter, he let me go download Twitch. much like you with Twitter, he has no self control and doesn't know how to behave. Hence the reason that I told you when you go on our Twitter page. Speaking of social media, if you're not already, go give us a follow on all social media at Nonsensical Nonsense. But
no, you told me not to go on our Twitter because of.
I told you could go on our
yelling at people.
Yeah, but I told you you could go on our Twitter page, but our Twitter, there's absolutely nothing political that's followed on our Twitter. It's all mainly podcasts.
Fix that about
I will fix that in about 30 seconds.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I
got a fried chicken.
Working on some Instagram stuff. What? Well, I don't know what to tell you. Why are you telling me? Tell mom. My daughter's literally telling me what my son's doing. My wife's literally right there. And I'm like, why are you telling me? But like, I have a few things that I want to do. I got an app on my phone where I can do some design work and come up with some cool logos and fun stuff.
Well, like I said.
Oh wait.
Like I said, it doesn't have to be logos and this and the other thing. I mean, you can pull.
Well, I pull clips.
You're gonna unfollow us?
Wow,
that's not very supportive. Yeah, well, you can pull clips and pictures. Whatever.
Yeah, all that fun stuff, pictures and whatnot. I have a few ideas that I want to get done. I just, like I said, this past 2 weeks, I've been so crazy busy with getting everything organized because I made a mess of the house that week. I built the kitchen, and I'm literally still cleaning. I'm slowly reorganizing the entire house.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. Like I think when we moved in, we just kind of yep, we'll put this here, with this here, and this here. And then the pandemic came, and we were like, well, we can't afford to do that now. So
yeah,
it's like constantly playing catch up. So fun stuff, fun times.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I do want to touch on one thing out of Florida because
yes, please.
It wouldn't be
have Florida
right
news.
Not to
wouldn't be
visit
it wouldn't
Florida
be news if we didn't do Florida.
And again, because I didn't know what was going on tonight, and I just automatically assumed that you were going to be MIA. So I didn't pull the video, but there was a video. This has been all over the news everywhere. There was a gentleman down in Florida that was paddleboarding. I think he was paddleboarding or he had a kayak or whatever. And, he was out doing his thing on the water or whatever. And an alligator slowly started approaching him while he was in the water. So he kind of stops what he was doing. And as the alligator got close enough to him, he basically essentially was like, he booped the alligator on the nose with his paddle.
Right.
Yeah. He just like boop.
Is that a word?
And he was,
Booped?
yeah, you like boop him on the
Like a
nose.
word.
That's a word.
Right. I know.
Yeah,
I
that's a
get it.
word.
I get what
Yeah.
you mean by booped. I've never heard it. Said
Oh,
that
really?
before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tap.
So he booped him on the nose, and he was like, "Whoa, easy there, big boy." And the fucking alligator, like that was his exact
Would be the
words.
first thing that came out of my mouth.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
if
Like
you
those
please calm down there, big
those
guy.
were his those were basically his exact words. You couldn't be any more Florida than that. You just nonchalantly boop an alligator on the nose and go, "Oh,
Calm
easy there,
down.
big guy. Easy there, big boy." And he did it, and the
Crocodile Dundee
alligator
on a
was
paddleboard.
yeah. The alligator was like, "Oh, my bad," and just swam on about his business in the other direction.
That's one of those stories that if it happened to you and me, if it happened to me and I told you this, you'd be like, bullshit. But in Florida,
Yeah.
everybody's like, yep, done that last week too.
Yep, it's Tuesday, right? Yeah. I'm
Must be
booping
Tuesday.
alligators. Yeah.
Booping alligators on the nose. Calm down there, fella.
Calm down there, Chief.
Exactly. Calm down there, Chief. Go away.
Well,
And the alligator's like, my bad.
yeah, and I'm thinking if I was an alligator, I'm legitimately a living, breathing fucking dinosaur. If you just boot me on my nose and was like, "Whoa, easy there, big fella," I would fucking
I will
eat
fuck
you.
up.
I would eat you slowly so that you were awake. I'd like take your foot off and I'd take a hand off just so you'd be awake, for as long as I possibly could keep you awake. Not only because not just because I was an alligator, but the simple fact that you just boot me on the nose nonchalantly and
I'm
was
just
like,
minding my fucking business.
yeah,
You're in my territory.
You're gonna boot me and disregard me like I'm yesterday's trash. I'm about to eat you. I'm about to eat the shit out of you.
That reminds me, I was like, I told you I watched those Cube videos, and I saw one and I thought of you. This family was having a wedding, and that's not what made me think of you. During the wedding, they're having it in it's like almost like a barn style, farm style fence. Not a picket fence, like a the just three, barely able to keep out a cow. And a little black bear decided he wanted some fucking cake, climbed over the fence, and was sitting at one of the tables when everybody came to the reception.
Oh no.
And then the clip ended, and I was like, see, if that would have happened at Chris's wedding, he could go over there and punch it. He was like, I'm gonna fight a fucking bear. He's like, so what'd you do for your wedding? Well, we did this, but the best part was when I fought a bear.
Yeah, don't let a fucking bear show up at mine and Summer's wedding because, it's already going to be a good day because, I'm marrying my best friend. I'm married, the woman I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. And, she makes me happy and I look forward to waking up every day with her. But then a bear shows up and I get to fight said bear.
About making a great day even better? Shit.
Yeah. Like, babe, I love you, but this day just got so much better. I get to fight a bear.
But everybody in the video is freaking out because it's bear, and there's this one guy standing over the corner just looking at it, and I'm like, "That's Chris. He's gonna go over there and punch that bear." But the video ended, and it went on to the next clip, and I was like, "Now, see, I guarantee you, if their battery died or something, because that guy went over and I'm gonna fuck this bear up." It looked like the guy had been drinking too. So I was like,
yeah, like, hey, what's going on? Little black bear, how you doing? You came up to the wrong wedding because I've been waiting for this moment. Now we'll give him a little push. Whoa, what the hell? There we go. Give him a little push. See what he's.
My volume did that thing again where your audio went real low, and I wasn't going to tell you. I was just going to fix it.
Yeah.
Sit there for 20 minutes going, is my mic plugged in?
What the hell's going on? Yeah, let a bear show up at my wedding because I'm gonna walk out. I'll be like, hey, if you down the clown,
and
let's go.
It wasn't really, like you said, it wasn't very big. I mean, it literally looked like a fat kid in a.
That's what I said, man. That's why I said specifically
like
the black bears. Like I don't want to dick with no polar bear because I watched a video today where a polar bear literally went into the fucking ocean and grabbed a beluga whale. He grabbed a beluga whale out of the goddamn ocean and drug it up on the land and ate that motherfucker. And I'm like, oh, I ain't
See,
fucking with
that's
them
impressive.
guys.
Now, see, you got to send me that clip. I want to see that.
Yeah, and I've seen some grizzly bears fuck some shit up, and I know what that bear did to Leonardo DiCaprio in The Relevant. I didn't even watch that movie, but I know that Leo got raped.
Movie, but I saw clips of it going, damn, Chris is crazy.
Whatever kind of bear that was, I much like the rape snakes, I don't want to mess with the rape bears.
Brown bear.
I don't know what it was, but regardless of what they say, that bear raped the shit out of Leo. Leo went from having sex with Kate Winslet to getting prison raped by a bear.
But I literally saw this clip, and if I remember, because I watched like 4 of them consecutively, because I'm weird like that. Because some of them will make you laugh so hard you can't breathe.
Yeah.
But I saw that and I was like, everybody else is asleep in the house, and I was like, that's gonna be Chris's wedding if a bear shows up. The guy in the back that's sitting there drinking a beer, just everybody else is scrambling and running away, and this guy in the back has got a beer and a beer stein going, I got this. Really just looked at him like, fuck that thing up as soon as I finish this beer.
Well, in our video, it'd be Summer going, handing me a beer, going, you got this, babe. You said you wanted this. You got this.
And I'd be over in the corner going, I got the video camera ready. Let's do this.
Batteries charged. Get them, Glick.
I got 100%. Let's do this. But it literally, I don't know if officially if it was a wedding because I couldn't see. I mean, everybody was dressed nice. The tables looked right. But it literally climbed over this 3-post fence and just started sitting at the table. Started going through glasses and dishes, and I'm like, somebody's gonna fuck that bear up.
Yeah, sorry, little bear. I know you just wanted to join the party, but you didn't get the invite. The only invite you got was to catch these fucking hands.
But I literally as soon as I seen this bear show up on video, I was like, oh, Chris would totally fuck that thing up. It literally looked like a fat kid in a fur coat.
I told you. That's what I told you. I specifically said the black bears are not very big bears, and I feel like I could take them.
Yeah, this thing literally looked like a 15-year-old kid in a fur coat that was seriously overweight.
Yeah. And like I said, as I learned from that other video, man, you can simply kick a bear in the dick and he reacts much like we do. So that kind of gives me hope if a grizzly bear. Yeah, if a grizzly bear ever runs up on me, not that I. Yeah. Not that I want to fight a grizzly bear.
That's where Leo fucked up. He should have fucking speed bagged that dude's balls and he would have been fine.
Not that I want to fight a grizzly bear, but if a grizzly bear wanted to smoke, then I'll kick him in his fucking dick and be like, "What's up, bro?
What's up now? Why you running? What's the running?" But for your rest of your life, like, yeah, I beat the shit out of a fucking grizzly bear, but nobody would believe you. They're like, no, we've seen that movie with Leo get fucked up. Be like, no, I fucking beat a grizzly bear. Sure, you did.
That's why I roll up like The Rock in that Hercules movie. What was it? Was it Steve Buscemi that was in that movie? No, it wasn't Steve Buscemi. Have you seen that? The Rock, the Hercules movie with The Rock?
No.
The beginning, I don't think it's Steve Buscemi, but I don't know why I just instantly thought of Steve Buscemi because it would be like a perfect role for him. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The beginning of that's actually a really good movie. That's actually a really good Rock movie. Much. Oh no, I was thinking of Steve Buscemi and Desperado. Because
he's genius in it.
Well, yeah. But the beginning of the Hercules movie with The Rock starts the same way. There's a guy and he's in a jail or whatever, and he's telling this story, and all the guards are like, oh, whatever, blah blah blah. Well, when The Rock shows up, the last story that they tell or that he tells is basically where one of his many stages to prove himself was where he had to fight this lion, and it was some great mystical lion, blah blah blah. And then he gets done telling the story, and all the guards are laughing at him, and they're like, "Oh, that'll never happen," blah blah blah. And then it shows the Rock. It was like the silhouette of the Rock shows up, and we all know how
And you're
big
like,
and
oh,
massive.
he's about to fuck some shit up.
Yeah, and he's wearing a lion skin, like he's wearing the lion, and like the head comes up over his head, and it was like, oh,
like James Earl Jones in Coming to America.
Yeah, and it was like, that's me where I tell the story about. You're telling the story about the one time you're telling the story about how I fought the bear at my wedding, and everybody's like, Click didn't fight no bear. Then I walk into the room
shirtless, wearing a bear skin.
I would say nonchalantly walk into the room, but it would probably be more stumbling into the room with a beer in my hand. With a bear, wearing a bear skin.
Sloshing your beer in the glass. I fucked up a bear.
I turned into Peter Griffin? What the hell?
Yeah, exactly. That's how I picture you fucking hammered. One of the funniest clips I've seen from Peter Griffin is when he's like, "It's the end of the world. I'm going to the black neighborhood."
Yeah.
He goes back. He's wearing a crown and a sash. Says "King of all blacks."
I love how your image. I love how your image of me completely wasted is Peter Griffin slashed with the 1920s gangster. Yeah, see here, look at here. The bear wanted a fight, see, and I gave him a fight. I said, "You'll never take me alive," see.
Oh my god, that's
well, Aaron's feeling. Oh, okay. Well, Aaron's still Aaron still fucking hates Kevin. He just comes in so late into the show, and he's like, "Fuck Kevin." Oh, that was impressive. We're talking about me being drunk wearing a bear skin, and you're like, "Fuck Kevin."
where I would literally like, Chris, just give me a little patch of it. I just want to be like, I fought the bear too. Like a bear badge.
basically, you describe me as a manlier version of Bert Kreischer. You're like shirtless with a bear skin, drunk, shirtless, but you had a bear skin on from the bear that you fought.
That's the title of this episode. Drunk, shirtless, wearing a bear skin.
Manly Bert Kreischer.
I don't know. That Russian mafia story that he tells, holy shit.
I'm putting it a manly Bert Kreischer, and I'm tagging him just so Bert can be like, "What the fuck?"
What's this dude manly on me?
I'm manly. Calm down, Bert. No,
You know, out of all the celebrities I'd like to be known as, like, if I randomly became a celebrity, I would not want to be Bert, because he's literally known as the party guy, and I'm not the party guy. Because, you know,
party guy right here.
Go somewhere, they're like, have 14, 15, 35 fucking beers, and I'm like, oh, god damn, I don't feel like drinking tonight. I drank last night.
Only 35. I can only have 35.
That's you. Only?
Yeah. Only? It's an appetizer, but
dead.
Yeah. 35. I mean, you barely wet my whistle, but okay, I guess.
35.
Kevin's gay.
Like,
just
you
saying.
say you want me to lay it out on the floor naked, throwing up? Okay, well, I guess I'll drink them.
Jeff, you're like to.
I'll take 35.
Which hospital? Yeah. Which hospital am I going to tonight?
Exactly.
I'll drink 3.5 beers.
And be hammered. I think if I drank 35 beers in a single night, I'd have alcohol poisoning. 'Cause as we've discussed, I don't really drink that much anymore.
Yeah. I would like to say that I have one story from when I drank 20 or 35 beers, but yeah, I have multiple stories where I've drank probably that many beers and
Well,
Jack Daniels and
you know,
whatever else.
they sell the case of beers, 24 beers in a case. If I
Yeah.
bought a case of 24, it would last me like 3 months. Where you would be like, so what else we're gonna drink this weekend?
Yeah, right. Shit. I'm thinking about buying a case of beer on my way home from work Friday because Bud Light does the official NFL, like they're like the beer sponsor or the NFL sponsor. So they do all 32 teams, and not that you can see it. I'll send you a picture of it when we get done here. But they brought out the football beer.
Roster.
Well, it's the labels that have the teams on it. Well,
Right.
today I stopped at a gas station to grab a couple beers on my way home, and terrible, mortally. What are you talking about? A run. But they've got a 24 pack of 16-ounce aluminum cans, and they all have Bud Light. And I got to send you this bottle. Mortally terrible show. I don't know. By AA Ron, are you saying our show's terrible, or I don't know what's going on?
It's probably talking about Kevin Holmes.
But this year's bottles actually look really cool. But it's got like beware the dogs. We want more.
Nice.
Dog pound, all kinds of cool stuff on it. But they've got a 24 pack at this gas station. So Friday on my way home from work, I'm gonna grab one. Not that I'm gonna drink it all Saturday because I need beer for Sunday.
Floating around that a while back, I don't remember what. I think it was Pabst had a 99 pack of beer.
Oh no, it was Natty. Natty Light's got the.
I don't know, but it's like 6 foot long, and it's like, no, honey, I'm just picking up a small pack of beer. Is the meme. Yeah. I'm just picking up a small pack. It's a 99 pack. I'm like, good God, that'd last me a year.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd have to like have all my entire neighborhood come over to help me drink it. Like, hey, I bought the beer.
I do, and I don't know if AA Ron's still in here or not, but I do want to say something real quick.
Yeah.
This is not going to be the place where
you shit on us.
People come and shit on Kevin. I love Kevin to death. That is my guy. I know I pick fun of him. I make fun of him. I pick on him a lot, and I say dumb shit, but I do it in a joking manner.
With love, so to speak.
You know, I have always supported Kevin. I've always supported his show. I always will. I did not intentionally do our show on Wednesday to go against him or anything like that. It's just what worked out best. I think
it just worked out that way because we were literally like, Wednesday's a good day, yeah. And then the afterthought was, oh shit, Kevin does his on Wednesday.
Yeah. So, hey, Ron, I know you have your issues with Kevin, but I just don't want this to become the place where we come and shit on other podcast hosts, because I don't want to be known as that guy unless they do something unless they do something incredibly horrible and then they deserve to be shit on. Like I said, I love Kevin to death. I poke fun at him, I take jabs and whatnot, but at the end of the day, that's my guy, and I will always support him.
No, I mean,
even with all his crazy conspiracy,
any podcast that people want to shit on. I mean, that's not what we're doing. We don't want to be that podcast that everybody comes in and goes, Mysteries of the Deep that's a shitty podcast. Who cares? Everybody's got their own little format, and I'm sure people listen to us and go, well, these guys are retarded, but we know we are. So
well. If you want to shit on us elsewhere, I don't really give a rat's ass. Hopefully the host of those, hopefully the host of that show will say, hey, so-and-so don't like you. And I'll be like, okay, well, as Rocky said, if I got 10 haters, I've got 100 people that like me. So.
Well, as Cat Williams says, if you got 100 haters, you need to figure out how to get about 200 by the end of the year, because
Yeah.
that means they're still listening.
So yeah. I just don't want to be that. I don't want to
No,
put
I know
that
that totally makes sense.
vibe out there or anything like that, because you know, you and I come in here and we have fun and we joke around, and you know, we do spend, we just randomly rant about whatever, and you know, we bust each other's balls, and I apparently have rented a lot of space in your head, which is fantastic. Which is
you,
fucking
I'm
fantastic.
gonna start charging you rent, dude. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Every time,
Yeah,
every
it's
time you
fantastic
pop
for
in
me.
my
I love
fucking
it.
head, every time you pop in my head, I'm charging you like $5. So you owe me like $300
okay.
this week. It's only Wednesday.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can come and collect if you want, but that's probably not gonna. It's probably not gonna work out.
As I told my dad when I was building the kitchen, I said, I told him, I said, I don't have a jigsaw. He's like, I got 3 of them down in the basement. If you want to go come get one, I said, I'll be there in like 10 minutes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine you and the rest of the lollipop guild showing up. We're here to collect, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna need you 6 to get on each other's shoulders.
Yeah.
The other 12 over there. Hold on a minute, I'll get to you guys.
We represent lollipop guild.
Yeah. Now you owe me 3 times the amount that you came to collect, because I just exerted a lot of energy for no reason.
No, we were watching, my wife and I, for no reason whatsoever, we started rewatching Raising Hope, and they did a whole Wizard of Oz episode, and at the end, they're all sitting on the couch and like, hey, that Wizard of Oz movie's on TV. You want to watch it? And they're like, well, we've tried to watch it like 6 times. We have a color TV. Why do we want to watch a movie? It's black and white. We only make it 5 minutes into it. Because when she lands in Oz, it becomes color. They never make it that far.
Yeah, exactly.
That show cracks me up.
But and I think I'm gonna bring that up at the. That show is really funny. I like the dad in that show. He's in something else.
He's
that
actually. I was
watched.
looking yesterday on IMDb, and unfortunately, none of them are really doing anything significant. They're showing up in episodes of other shows and stuff. But I was kind of disappointed when I found that none of them are really gotten anything else going, and I'm kind of like, fuck, man.
The dad in that show is in. What is he in?
Well, he did like 1 or 2
was.
episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's been in a couple things that we've been watching. Like, holy shit, it's Bert, And
He's in.
Yeah.
He's in Deadwood.
Oh, okay. Might actually.
That's right.
Watch it now.
That's actually a really good show, dude. You got to watch it just because Timothy Oliphant's in it.
Yeah, the problem I have with Timothy Oliphant is he's kind of a dick. I always see him as kind of he's one of those guys when you see him on a show, he's always plays the dick, like he's an asshole.
No.
And like I had that problem with what's his name, the guy that played Hammer in Iron Man 2.
Oh yeah, that guy's always the dick. No, Timothy Oliphant said, well, he did a lot of rom-coms, but
right.
he's in Justified, which is another really good show.
Also haven't seen it.
It's a modern
yeah, go ahead.
It's a modern day Western. Justified is a modern day Western.
Okay.
But it's in Kentucky. It's in like Harlan County, Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
And he's a U.S. Marshal, dude. I'm telling you, if you watch it, you'll love it. Deadwood is fantastic. It's a Western. You'll love it. Oliphant plays.
I have the same problem you do, as I'm watching like 9 things right now.
Yeah.
This is lies the problem of having streaming services. Is
Mhm.
we just finished Lucifer finally because the new season came out and we barreled through that in a day. Because it's something we watch as a family. But like I'm rewatching Designated Survivor. I'm rewatching House of Cards. I'm rewatching Raising Hope with the family. I'm trying to get through that 9/11 documentary series that they just put up on Netflix, but it's so slow. It's got a wicked slow build up. Like the first episode, they barely get to the towers.
Yeah. Deadwood Oliphant plays Seth Bullock, which in the Wild West days, he was sheriff of Deadwood,
Okay.
politician guy. Like he's a big name in the Wild West.
Okay, so like not like the exact opposite of Billy the Kid. He's known, but
Well,
he's
yeah.
known as being one of the good guys.
Well, yeah, and he like, yeah, he Deadwoods is really good. It's got, like I said, if you just give it a watch, it's a little bit of a slow burn, but it's really good. And Justified is awesome.
Well,
like I said, it's got.
I'll put it on my list of shit to watch.
Justified has Walton Goggins in it, which that guy's another one of those. He's in fucking everything.
Right.
Oh, what the hell? I'm trying to think of something.
The only problem I have with watching shit like that is next thing I know, I want to go out and buy a cowboy hat and cowboy boots.
I'll go buy a cowboy hat and cowboy boots.
I watched
Get
Pinky
after it,
Blinders.
Wider.
I literally watched Pinky Blinders. I was like, I need to get me one of them hats.
Yeah.
That show's genius.
Okay, so have you seen that? Have you seen the movie The Hateful Eight?
Bits and pieces. I think I've seen it. But I think I only watched it once. And I think I seen it when it first came out.
Oh, okay. Have you seen Ant-Man and Wasp?
Yeah.
You remember when the chick who plays Wasp, she goes into that restaurant or whatever, and she meets with that gangster guy.
Okay.
And it was the first time that ghost or whatever showed up.
He drives that. He rides in that white Escalade with gold rims.
That's Walton Goggins.
I was like, what a tacky piece of shit car.
Yeah, that's Walton Goggins, who's in fucking everything.
Okay, I know that guy. Yeah, he's everywhere.
He's in Justified, and he's like the main antagonist.
Nice.
I love that dude.
Yeah, that dude's one of those guys. He always plays a dick as well, but he's a likable dick. Like Timothy Olyphant.
Yeah, exactly.
He plays a guy where you just, no matter what he is, I look at him and I'm like, I want to punch this dude in the face.
But he doesn't play a lot of. Oliphant was also in Scream 4, I think.
500.
But he does. He's done some rom. He's done some rom coms.
Well, he did that movie Catch and Release, and
and he's.
From what I've heard on set, he's kind of a dick. He was in Die Hard.
Was he really?
Yeah, he played the bad guy in Die Hard with the one with Justin Long.
Oh, Live Free and Die Hard.
Yeah, the bad one. Well, the second to bad one. The one in Russia at not Russia. We're the one where it takes place in Russia.
Well, they had the one that was Sam Elliott was in, and Bruce Willis had to go wear the sign that said "I hate black people" and a black community.
That's Sam Jackson. You said Sam.
Oh yeah,
Elliott.
Sam Jackson, not Sam Elliott. The other.
I literally didn't think about it. So Sam Elliott would be awesome.
Yeah, no, that was my bad. I fucked that up. That was
another guy. That's another guy that's in a lot of things. Is Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, he's in everything.
Actor. Holy shit, he's awesome.
But Oliphant's in that San Clarita Diet. It's on Netflix with Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, I've seen it. I watched it. It's
good show.
It's
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
I liked it.
I enjoyed it. It was
my wife and I watched it. We binged the shit out of it. but
Mhm.
I was kind of disappointed with the ending. We were talking
But
about this.
I love Drew
We finished
Barrymore.
Lucifer.
I just like yeah.
When
Yeah,
we
I
finished
love Drew
Lucifer,
Barrymore.
we were talking about how the ending of Lucifer was so good, and other shows just they fuck up the ending.
Mhm. Well, that's what stopped me from watching Sopranos because I knew the ending. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
I want to watch Sopranos, but I know the
I can't get
finale,
into
and
it.
that's just
Well, the problem I had with the Sopranos was just a shit ton of talking. Like, there's no you think gangsters, you're like, oh, this is gonna be some badass fucked up shit, and it's just he's in a therapist office most of the time in the first season.
well, it's behind the scenes, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, well, that's which is the concept, I guess. But still, I was just like, stop talking already. Beat somebody's ass.
well, I mean, that's the whole reason.
No Joe
That's the whole reason
Pesci.
I don't want to watch. Man, I cannot get past that scene, and I think it was.
Casino?
I always confuse them. I don't. Yeah, I think it was Casino where they took Joe Pesci and his brother out into the middle of the desert,
Cornfield. No,
and they
took him out
made
on
him.
a cornfield. Dig his own fucking
No, it was
grave.
like, yeah, and then they beat him to death with ball bats. Oh my
Jesus.
god,
The
God,
fucking
and they don't
scene-
even show it.
scene in Casinos
They don't
is
show it.
where Pesci puts that dude's head in a vice, and he cranks it, and the guy's eye pops out, and he's like, "You made me pop out your eye for that, motherfucker!" When the guy finally talks, he's like, "For that."
Was Pesci's greatest line is, "Am I funny? Some kind of fucking clown?"
Oh my god, Goodfellas.
Yeah, find me.
Genius, Pesci's the kind of guy I would have a beer with, but I'd be wary the whole time. I'd be like,
Pesci's the kind of guy that I'm like, if you don't settle your little ass the fuck down, I'm gonna choke the shit out of you.
Pesci's basically me. If I was a gangster, I'd be Pesci. Fuck,
Pesci's that guy that's like, Pesci's that guy where it's like, I'm just trying to have a few beers and enjoy my night. If you don't settle your ass the fuck down, you don't have to worry about anybody. You're gonna start a fight with the wrong motherfucker. And I gotta get involved, and all I want to do is drink my beer and be happy.
The funniest scene in Goodfellas with Joe Pesci's they kill that guy. They got him in the trunk. They're eating at his mom's house. His mom, can I borrow this knife? They fucking eat. He goes, he's cut up that body with a knife. Oh, that cracks me up every time. He's like, "Can I borrow this knife?"
Every time I see Pesci, I don't think of like a tough guy or a made man. I just think of the guy that all I want to do is drink beer and watch the football game, and this fucker is trying to start fights with every fucking frat boy that comes into the bar, and it's like,
exactly.
I'm gonna strangle you if you don't calm your little ass the fuck down.
Well, let's go ahead and wrap up because it's Wednesday, and I still got
it's Wednesday.
Stuff to do. I know you got to work tomorrow. I got a ton of stuff to do tomorrow.
Yeah, I got to work tomorrow. Fuck my life. So
I'm gonna be sweating like a pig.
I'm gonna end this with a little Rock Lee love. But yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. Appreciate y'all listening. Chatters Box, thank you guys for hanging out.
A little silent today, but
actually, that's okay. I'm actually going to address what I just addressed earlier Saturday night at the beginning of the show, as long as you're okay with that, Jeff.
Yes, please.
But we're going to wrap this up. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you're not already, check us out on social media, Instagram, the Facebook, the Twitter, the TikTok, the YouTube, the Twitch, all that jazz. At Nonsensical Nonsense. Go give us a liking. Go give us a thumbing. Jeff prefers 2 to 3 thumbs at once. Oh, there it is. Also, if you've got any bit of this live or if you've stumbled upon this randomly and you like what you hear, go ahead and check us out. 40 episodes. And we haven't not even addressed that, dude. 41 episodes deep, man.
I know. I was explaining that to my kids today. So you realize I've been doing this for 20 weeks already.
Mm-hmm.
And it blows my mind. It doesn't feel like it.
Yeah. But you get every single episode on Anchor, Google, Apple, Spotify. You can hear all the episodes. You can come and listen while you're at work, just hating your job, and you can listen to two dummies talk about nothing and everything all at once.
Yeah.
So go check us out there, wherever you get your podcast jollies. Yeah. Just Google. Just simply go to your Siri or your Alexa or your Google Assistants and say, give me nonsensical nonsense, because
That
Daddy
reminds me,
Jeff said so.
I want to do one thing.
What do you
I'll
want to
say
do?
that for a second. Hey Siri, find nonsensical nonsense. There you go. So somebody's Siri somewhere is going, there you go.
Well, I mean, Siri. Fuck Apple. Alexa,
Yeah, there you go. Alexa,
follow nonsensical nonsense.
Yes, there you go. Follow it.
But yeah, like I said, check us out pretty much everywhere on social media and anywhere you get your podcast. Go give us a thumb and go give us a follow. Go get your jollies. And if you want to email us for any fucking reason, sponsorship, if you want to come on the show and hang out.
Oh, you're going to
Try that again.
nonsensical nonsense podcast at gmail.com.
I wasn't talking over it.
To whatever.
I wasn't talking over you. Much like your sex life, you prematurely ejaculated. So we're going to go ahead and wrap the show up. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for listening. Much love. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week. And we will see you Saturday night. Enjoy the sweet remix of Rock Lee of EDM Combat to the one and only Chris Jericho's Fozzy. And we are out of here.
Deuces.
Now that I've betrayed everyone I've ever loved, I push them all away. And I have been a slave to the Judas in my mind. Is there something left for me to say in the wreckage of my life?